The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
We are precisely 60 days away from the most glorious night of the year, Halloween. And with that, we're going to be having some special marathons that are going to be coming up on our local cable systems. So actually, you know what? They have Freeform. And Freeform has their 31 days of Halloween coming up. But you know what? I would avoid that because it looks pretty juvenile. When the whole thing starts off with Mrs. Doubtfire, you pretty much want to shake off the whole thing. A lot of Pixar stuff, a lot of Addams Family, Halloween Town. Yeah, there's some Family Guy and Simpsons Treehouse of Terror. But you know what? Why don't we go to HBO Max? Because I just found out just before we started recording that HBO Max has secured the rights to the Friday the 13th franchise. All the Paramount films from 1 to 8. And in time for Halloween. So get your groove on with Jason Voorhees and the gang and have yourself a rockin' Halloween. Oh, yeah, one more thing. We have our Patreon takeover today. Double D is in the house. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 579 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, Casa de -0 in the attic, and also, thankfully, not underwater this week. We are joined from the DR, our boy Double D for his Patreon takeover. What's up, Double D?
Chilling. Hurricane or two won't keep Double D down. So we're here in Double D's the dilapidated, derelict doghouse right here. So here we go. We good.
Double D been living in the doghouse since 1999.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and Mother's Milk as always. So salute to everybody there. We can drink it on air, right? So yeah, I think here we go. Yeah, here we go. What is this water shit that we have, Rich?
Ask Wolfie what he's drinking.
Straight up vodka.
Yeah.
More like vaca.
Vaca. So
a little bit of vaca.
Oh yeah. So it's time for the August Patreon takeover. We didn't do one last month because we had the big milestone show, but back with Patreon takeover, and we're joined by Double D once again. And for those who don't know, D's been a friend for a long time, and Raven Shadow's tag team partner. I'm sure people haven't forgot that because he says it every opportunity he can. What do you wear? What are you guys wearing? What is this? So, some people may not have heard or seen it, so go ahead.
Oh, we all know here the logo here, right there. The Kobayashi Maru there, right?
Kobayashi Maru in the house, baby. Look in the back. Yeah, the greatest faction, NCW history, which, I co-founded, and then Double D joined the team. Combined record. You got tag team gold, 2 members world champions. I think every member was a rookie of the year. Our merchandise was the second highest in NCW history after the Neo Rockers, Astro Boy, and Psycho Patrick. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. Right on. All time.
So we're talking about like some major promotion that, just performed in front of like 81,000 people at Wembley Stadium, right? You guys talking about AEW? What are we talking about?
That's the thing. Anybody can fucking perform in front of 80,000 people. Okay.
But can anybody perform in front of one audience member who is just wandered into a backyard?
No, there was some kids that came. We had Will from that great band. We had people's girlfriends.
And we went to Japan. We went to Japan as well.
Yeah, their girlfriends probably weren't their girlfriends for long after they saw that.
Because the Maru was there. That's what happens.
Oh, they stole them? Is that what you're saying?
It's true. Like the Maru would throw parties to be like, "Yo, a lot of guys' girlfriends are in there, dog." But yeah, we were the greatest. Right, a lot. But can you perform under a tarp in a rain misting?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and like I said, we were travel all over the world, Japan, all over the place and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was huge. It was huge.
New Orleans,
right?
Providence,
right.
all the foreign lands. Dominican Republic.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Right on.
So if you want to be a member of the Kobayashi Maru, just go to KobayashiWear.com.
That's true, and you can find so much. Not only our awesome T-shirts that Double D and I are both showing off, but we have other items too. Mother's Day is coming.
That's right.
You can get your mom a potted plant.
A pot. Get her. Just buy her some pot.
Yeah, and put it on the stand. That'll be nice. You know what I mean? To the Maru colors. You could also, which Double D and I both have that tattoo.
Right.
If you can see that, all the members.
Yeah.
We also have for Christmas, a box you could put your gift cards in.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm not saying that it's a cocaine box, but it's certainly a box that could fit cocaine. So I'm saying that we could diversify things.
So wait, are we doing a movie called Cocaine Box? It's like Cocaine Bear, but different.
I don't know what you're gonna put in it, Johnny. I'm just saying that the Maru gives you options.
Right on.
And where can people get this?
We're working on that.
Yeah, Johnny's website there and stuff. Yeah, we got it. Don't worry about it. It's there. So
yeah,
we got the PayPal set. We got the PayPal set. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. PayPal.
Open biginthepants.com.
Biginthepants.com. Yeah, it's finally getting to use. You know what? You know what's funny? I'm like, I would not be surprised if Tiny still has that URL because he did buy it for you. And like one day in the future, like 10 years from now, he's going to be like someone's going to contact him and be like, "Hey, can I buy the URL biginthepants.com off of you?" And he'll be like, "I completely forgot I had this."
biginthepants.com.
All right. So tonight, as I mentioned, we are doing a Patreon takeover with Double D. And Double D has selected 2 films, and those films are The Monster Project and Down a Dark Hall. So we'll be talking about those films. We'll be asking Double D what prompted him to choose those films as we discuss them. And generally just shooting the shit and having some fun. And let's see. As of right now, I don't think we have one voice message, I believe. So if folks are listening live and you want to get some voice messages in, there is some room. You can go ahead, send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And you can talk about the films that we're discussing tonight, the films we did last week, film we did 10 months ago or 10 years ago, Raven Shadow, right?
Oh, yeah. Whatever comes first.
Right.
Let's see. We have a few folks hanging out. We have Angry Townsman. What's up, Angry?
Yeah, boy.
We got Marion. Marion says, "Hey, Double D. Hello, gents. Hey, I'm sorry I wasn't posting last episode, but Raven Shadow is not the one who found the Casablanca DVD." Oh, the truth comes out.
Oh,
wow.
She says, "I told him many times that I alphabetized the DVDs, by the way, but yeah, I found it right in between Cabin in the Woods and Catch Me If You Can."
Kudos on you on still having Cabin in the Woods. Good
No,
movie.
no, there's no kudos. You should
it's a great
trash
movie.
that movie. It's terrible.
Just his favorite.
Yeah, Double D knows about this. Like,
Excuse me there. Excuse me.
Oh, it's a cat in the woods.
Yeah. He wants attention too. He wants camera time too. You know what I mean? Camera time too.
So it's funny. I think, it's no secret that I have medical problems, right? And
wait, the ones that you're honest about, or the ones you lie about?
no. Give or take. Yeah.
Little A, little B.
A little bit of A, little B. So, I don't see as well as I did back when Double D and I formed the Maru back in the day. Shout out, 25th year anniversary. So maybe sometimes I will take my glasses off or I'll look real close, and somehow I do not see it. But I think with my eyes being fucked up, I think I mistook Casablanca for Goonies.
It happens. Happens, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very similar films, so I mean, I can see how you do that.
I'm looking close. I don't know what happened, but yeah, we have it. We have it. I have always had it. The important thing, I was vindicated.
That's right.
You should have done the truffle shuffle when you found it.
I did. We just didn't film it.
We can't hear you, MZ. I think you're muted.
I don't think Humphrey Bogart did the truffle shuffle. Casablanca.
He did.
Although
He did.
it would give me a reason to watch it, I'll tell you that.
It was in the deleted scenes of Casablanca. No, nobody saw it.
Here's looking at you, sweetheart.
In the gag reel. It's in the gag reel. You gotta get that edition.
From what I hear about Bogart, there was quite a lot of gag reels, if you know what I mean.
Wow. Wow.
Here's looking at you.
Here's mud in your eye, kid.
That's not mud.
That's not any web fluid, kids.
There's blood in your eye.
Would you say his favorite music is jizz music from Star Wars, from the Star Wars galaxy?
Of all the jizz joints in the world, they have to come into my bar.
And all the jizz joints in the world.
Jizz joints.
Yeah, boy.
Here's looking at you, sweetheart.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Played it for him, now you can play it for me.
Yeah.
You did it to him, now you can do it to me. Now do it.
Now it's your turn. Humana.
Jesus Christ.
All the jizz joints in the world.
Oh man, I feel like I'm on Force Insensitive over here, Double D.
All the jizz joints in the world sharing to come into mine.
Which was great yesterday. Yeah. That was great yesterday. The Force Insensitive. So yeah.
Oh man.
Where's Rocky's Canuck ass over here? Tell him to call. I want him to call.
I think he said he was going to try and tune in when he found out you were going to be on.
Right.
Jesus.
It's just a year. Evil Corny says that'll explain One Eye Willie's treasure.
That'll explain One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah.
Wait.
Is that Humphrey Bogart's like name for his junk?
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, that's true.
Hey, One-Eyed Willie.
Hey, One-Eyed Willie, meet One-Eyed Willie. He's like, but I got two eyes, not anymore.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
I cross the T and dot your I.
It's true. The patch budget on Casablanca was through the fucking roof. Get more eye patches. I don't know. Find them.
We run out. Okay.
Run out.
Oh shit!
That's the mashup we need. Is Goonies meets Casablanca, like in Trick or Treat Radio style.
Oh my God, with a fucking dope Cyndi Lauper soundtrack.
Yes.
That's the Lauper reference right there.
Right, and I'm Cyndi Lauper.
And I'm Cyndi Lauper.
Which was another great 80s movie there, which just one of the guys. Another great 80s movie.
Oh,
Oh, that was classic. I love that. Yeah.
I love Just One of the Guys. My God.
So believable as her as a girl, as a boy.
Right?
Oh, maybe the 80s were like
Yeah.
weird and stuff that people like, maybe it was that whole like androgynous shit and stuff, like with Prince and shit and stuff, and everybody that kind of looked like a girl. Yeah, there you go, right there. Yeah.
The thing I wonder is how does that film work nowadays? Like, is it like, because back then in the 80s, like, feminism was just sort of like it wasn't a new movement, but it wasn't like
Right.
it wasn't really adopted by widely. It was more sort of like a 70s sort of like thing. But yeah, now, like, I wonder how that that plays, because I haven't seen it in a good 20 years probably.
There was a remake, not remake, but like a
Remake.
Amanda Bynes.
Oh,
one-
yeah, that's right.
Oh, She's the Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
Before she
what
went-
I want is a double feature of Just One of the Guys and Soul Man.
I knew you were gonna
The
say that.
politically incorrect
knew-
80s double feature.
We get Soul Man.
Yes. Soul Man.
We get all the politically incorrect stuff that you can't even play.
Anybody else call
I mean-
for a cab?
I mean, C. Thomas Howell, he visited a lot of rocket shocks. He did a couple rocket shocks in Worcester. And much to my surprise, it turns out he was white.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Who
Give
knew?
Give me more watermelon and my hypodermic needle.
Oh my God.
Jesus, what you looking at?
Yeah,
Oh
you-
heavens!
Evil Corny said, "Play with it again, Sam."
Yeah, corny.
Yeah. You played it with him, now you can play it with me. Now play it.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, shit. So I don't even know what's going on.
Hey,
So
we're talking about Just One of the Guys in Soul Man. What are you talking about? We know what's
Yeah.
going on.
oh shit. Yeah. So I haven't seen Just One of the Guys in a long time. Who was the actress in that again? What was her name?
Oh,
Joyce.
Terry Kaiser.
Terry Kaiser.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
Heiser. Terry. No. Joyce
No.
Heiser. Joyce Heiser.
Right.
Joyce Heiser. That's it. Yep, Joyce. Yep.
Yeah, Terry Kaiser was
Yeah, not Terry Kaiser.
not Terry. Terry Kaiser Soze. Yeah.
Yeah, Joyce Heiser, Clayton Rohner as Rick,
Yeah, Clayton Ronner.
Ronner,
And
Billy
yeah,
Jane.
and of course, Billy Zabka.
Yes, as
Oh,
Greg
yes,
Tolan. Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Jane as Buddy Griffith.
Oh,
Yep.
the great.
Yeah.
Billy Jane.
Oh, wait.
Actually, Billy Jane is Billy Jacoby.
Yeah, I was gonna
Billy
say.
Jacoby.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it says in parentheses as Billy Jacoby. That's right. I didn't know he altered his name.
It also has Sherilyn Fenn,
Yep. Lee McCluskey.
and it also has goddamn, what's his name? He was in Friday the 13th Part 2. He survived. Oh goddamn, what's his name?
I'm looking at the cast. So
Two? Part 2?
is it
Yeah,
Stuart
Yeah.
Charno, Robert Fieldsteel?
Stu Charno.
Charno.
Stu
Okay,
Charno,
that's what I thought. He looked
Yep.
familiar. Yep.
Stu Charno. Yep.
And it was that time where everybody like in the 80s high school movies that they all look like 30 and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not one of those guys was believable. That's like a team.
And you know what? I actually don't think I ever knew this. The movie was directed by a woman, Lisa Gottlieb, who directed.
Really?
Yeah. So what else did she direct? She didn't do much. She did this. She did one episode of Freddy's Nightmares TV series.
That's all you had to say.
I know. She did one episode of do you guys know a TV series called Dream On? with
the great, great Brian Benben.
Brian Benben, yeah.
The HBO. You saw boobs.
You saw boobs.
It was good. Yeah, he was.
Larry Miller was in it. Okay.
Yeah, the great Larry Miller. Yeah, he was a divorcee, and it was like the trials and tribulations of like a middle-aged divorcee.
How do you know this shit?
Because I watched it when I was 12.
The sitcom, dude. What do you expect?
I know.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding? Yeah. I am just amazed by the sitcom knowledge from you two. It's unbelievable. Like I watched all those shows, or not. Well, I mean, not all of them. I didn't watch Dream On. I don't remember that, but I watched a lot of the same shows you guys do, and I don't remember that shit at all. So it's crazy to me.
It was one of the first HBO originals. It was that and First and 10.
I do remember that. I remember First and 10.
Delta Burke.
What about not necessarily the news?
Oh yeah, that was my shit.
Are you kidding me? I can name them all. Not necessarily news. Let me see. There was Danny Breen, Mitchell Lawrence, Rich Hall, Audrey Neiman, Ann Bloom, Stuart Pank.
Yeah. They would do Sniglets too.
Yes.
Sniglets.
Yeah.
That was Rich Hall's Sniglets. Yeah.
He released a book, like several books, right? Sniglets.
Yeah. Yeah. Because and I loved how Stuart Pankin is such a talent. He really is, and he just does not get the credit he deserves. He is so good.
Wait, was he the larger fellow from LA Law?
No. You're thinking of oh shit. He was Larry Drake. You're thinking of Larry Drake.
No, Larry Drake was the challenge person, and he later played Dr. Giggles.
In LA Law.
Yeah, but no, he was Benny. He was Benny in LA Law.
Yeah.
But there was a dude, I think Patinkin, that was married to the other chick.
You thinking of Mandy Patinkin?
Mandy Patinkin. He's that boy good. No.
Yeah.
Larger, gray-haired fella.
Stuart Pankin. No, Stuart Pankin.
No, I know.
He played the newscaster Bob Charles on that show, not necessarily the news. And then he was, let's see. And then the next thing I know that he was in, that was famous was in Arachnophobia.
Yep.
That's the fucking guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Is it? Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Are you right?
I think I'm right.
Are you right?
Right. I think you're right. And then next thing you know, and then years later, he started doing infomercials for insoles. So,
yeah, Stuart
but he was
Pankin,
he was also Stuart Pankin, but he was also in Life Stinks. Mel Brooks's Life Stinks.
Okay, I'm looking at his IMDb. Yeah, you're right. So Bob Charles and not necessarily the news.
Yeah.
I got to go way back to see Life Stinks. That would have been like what, 89?
No, 93 or 92.
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
After, not necessarily the news.
Yeah, long after.
Because that was Reagan era.
90 what? Not
necessarily
the news. Oh yeah, they ranked on him hardcore.
He was in Striptease.
Yeah. Stuart Pankin was in Striptease.
Yeah, apparently.
And wasn't there some other
he
political
did
show?
He did the sorry to interrupt. He did the voice of the Condiment King in Batman the Animated Series.
Christ on a crutch.
Shit. I almost forgot. He was also the voice of the Daddy Dinosaur in Dinosaurs.
He was in Family Matters.
That's right. He was. As a matter of fact,
Life Stinks. He was Pritchard. It was 1991 was Life Stinks.
Yeah, he
91.
played a lawyer in that. He was so oily. Oh, what a scumbag!
So oily.
Double D. As a matter of fact, like maybe 3 weeks ago, we had the Zombie Girls on, and we were doing this sort of a contest of sorts where we would try to attach an actor who starred in a sitcom and relate it to a horror film.
movie, yeah.
You know, kind of like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Got you.
And I'll pat myself on the back. I was mowing everybody over.
I was gonna say you must have won. You must have won that. You must have won that game.
I was mowing them all over.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. No one knows more obscure actors than you do. No one knows it more than you do.
I am a fountain of just useless information.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have you defend your crown sometime, though, MZ.
Yeah.
Got to be
I would love
fighting
to.
champ, yeah.
I would love to. The sooner the better. I'm ready to go right now.
Oh, shit. Raven Chat, MZ just threw out a challenge for 6 Degrees of sitcoms. He said he wants someone to challenge him for his crown.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. I want a title shot.
You want a title shot? You can't have one. Oh, shit.
The thing about MZ, and I think we know a lot of the same shit. A lot of what MZ has over me is more people's names, and I think you have more of the you also have more of the horror movie background.
Yes,
Right.
That's where he's got you, is the horror movie background,
and that's a wide net. Especially I might know them from there's that motherfucker and that motherfucker, but MZ knows like the names and their fucking socials for some fucking reason.
Their social security numbers.
Yeah.
There's this show that came out. It lasted one season. Okay.
To Catch a Predator.
Called Sister Kate. No, called Sister Kate. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's all about this nun who takes care of an orphanage, and it's filled with kids of various ages from, like 4 or 5 years old all the way to like 16, 17 years old. And there's this one act. Well, not only does it have Jason Priestley in it before he got famous, but there's also another actor in there named Harley Cross. Okay, now I try to play along with the idea that they hired these two actors simply because of their name and for the sake of the title of the show. Sister Kate. So you got Jason Priestley and Harley Cross, and Harley Cross starred in a movie way back in like 1989, Boy Who Cried Bitch.
Wait, what? You can't print that.
Yeah, you can't say that.
So like, if anybody was even to say Sister Kate, I'm like, Harley Cross, the Boy Who Cried Bitch.
We should have a contest of shows that lasted for like one season to see what knowledge people have about and stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Well, now I think I don't know what the fuck MZ was talking about, but like you want to talk about fucking nunsploitation. Let's talk about the fucking Father Dowling mysteries, motherfucker.
Oh,
that was
I remember that.
What's up with that?
And also one season once. How about Vinny and Bobby? Do you remember that? There was a little show called Vinny and Bobby from Fox. It was a Married with Children.
Yeah.
Well, Father Dowling's Mysteries had was with Tom Bosley, and Tom Bosley starred in Wicked Stepmother.
See, MZ's just playing the game, he's not even like prompted. He's just fucking playing it.
And
he's showing off his skills.
Yeah.
Well, allow me to whip this out because what my tag team partner from the Kobayashi Maru, Double D, is talking about is the spinoff with I think Joey from Friends.
Yeah.
His Italian, obviously over Italian American father. Is that the show?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a show, man. Yeah. It was a spin-off of Married with Children. Like he had like two shows that lasted for like one season each. That's what it was.
Yeah. The other one was a show called Top of the Heap, and that's the one.
That one, yeah.
Top of the Heap, and that lasted only one season, and that was done with Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah.
And the father's name escapes me.
That's what I was thinking about. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
Top of the
I
heap.
was going to say it sounded awfully familiar, but that's top of the heap.
Yeah.
Last one season because they had that one episode where they were like, oh man, Married with Children. They tried to do the spinoff thing like crazy, and it just wasn't catching on. They tried like 3 or 4 different spinoffs, and none of them were taken.
Well, the plot was just preposterous up top of the heap. Like the plot was that Matt LeBlanc was supposed to marry like a rich woman or something like that.
Yeah.
The whole plot of the show, like it was something ridiculous.
He's like an unprofessional boxer by trade.
Yeah.
He's always trying to marry these rich women who don't want to have anything with him.
Jesse,
Listen,
are you lost? You lost?
I don't know, man. Like
that one.
I'm just listening. I'm amazed.
They tried to do a spinoff with Linda Blair and Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yep.
Because they were the parents of 7 who lasted only a season on Married with Children.
Yeah.
And they tried to do a spinoff of that. There was another spinoff attempt with
Sam Kinison.
Not Sam Kinison. Well, yeah, Sam. His isn't really a spinoff. He got the job of I forgot the name of that show. Because of his appearance on Married with Children, he was able to nab that sitcom.
The Angel. Wasn't he like a reincarnated
He was
Guardian Angel.
Guardian Angel, right. Then there was this other sitcom that they tried to do with Alan Thicke and Nicole Eggert.
Oh shit.
Nicole Eggert, really? Oh my
Nicole Eggert. And I want to say that, oh God, what's her name? Chasing Amy.
Joey Lauren Adams.
Joey Lauren Adams, yeah. With Joey Lauren Adams as well. And that didn't take off.
Alan Thicke's big in the pants. He's got a big.
How do you know? How do you know?
It's known.
With Joey Lauren Adams and Nicole Eggert, can you blame him?
Well, no, he's Alan Thicke is more than just a clever last name. It's like guys who are like Baker. Oh, his great granddad was a chef.
That's great.
Carpenter.
John.
Jesus
Carpenter.
Jesus Carpenter.
He was one of the carpenters.
Is it Jesus? Is Jesus Carpenter of Nazareth?
I'm trying to think of if there was another spin-off attempt. There was nothing with Peggy's Family that was done as a spin-off.
No, there was no Darcy's.
No. I think that's it. They tried like 3 times. And
Did Nicole Eggert, not Nicole Eggert, Christina Applegate get a spinoff?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
Oh,
she got another sitcom deal. Oh goddamn! Can't remember the name of that one either. But it lasted only like maybe 2 seasons.
Right.
Then it just tanked.
And there was also not to forget, the whole Three's Company.
Yep.
Spin-offs and stuff that never lasted. The Ropers and Three's a Crowd.
The Ropers and Three's a Crowd. Wow.
The Ropers had Jeffrey Tambor. How could they screw that up?
I know.
They
Had Jeffrey fucking Tambor in it, and that guy is a fucking god.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could have screwed that up.
Yeah, but
And as well as Three's a Crowd with Robert Mandan, and that lasted a season. But you can only hold on to the magic for so long.
Yes, so.
Was the other, because I looked it up, I wanted to find out, was the other Christina Applegate series, was it called Jessie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've even heard of that. Because I think I probably would have been like, oh, there's a show called Jessie? All right.
There's one memorable scene from that whole series.
Wait. I'm fascinated now. Fascinated.
Out of 42 episodes, there's one memorable scene.
And he motherfucker knows it.
Well, it's not even a scene that's in the show. It was a rehearsal scene, or it was going to be a take, and Christina Applegate's supposed, there was a knock at the door or a doorbell, and she's supposed to open the door. She opens the door, and there's Ed O'Neill on the other side of it, and
Oh.
she just completely broke down. You can find it; it's on YouTube, and she just completely broke down. It's a very touching scene, to be perfectly honest.
I don't recognize too many of the people in that show. I mean, obviously Christina Applegate, but Eric Lloyd, Liza Snyder, Bruno Campos, John Lair, I do know. David DeLuise, is that Dom's son?
Yeah, might have been. I think he was in Jump Street, and he was also in Wayne's World.
Yeah, he is son. Okay.
No, sorry, that's Peter DeLuise. That's
Peter DeLuise. It would have to be the same family. I mean, how many DeLuise are there outside of?
It is his son. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
He had 2.
So yeah, I just don't remember that show at all. Do you guys remember what channel it was on?
Oh,
by chance? No.
Network.
Was it Fox? Was it Fox? Because that was Married Children.
It might have been.
But after that, Ed O'Neill tried his hand at drama, and they started to recreate. I want to say it was Dragnet, that they recreated Dragnet for Ed O'Neill.
But keep in mind too, Ed O'Neill, he was the second Popeye Doyle. You know, like after Gene Hackman left the fucking French Connection fucking franchise, he became Puppy Doyle. That's funny. Popeye Doyle. And Ed O'Neill was also in Deliverance. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a small scene in Deliverance. He plays one of the cops near the end of the film.
I don't remember that really. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I've told this story before, but I remember I had a buddy of mine when we were kids, like 10 till 12-ish. We'd rent movies, and we thought, oh, it's fucking The Bandit in like a G.I. Joe type movie. This should be fun. No.
Wait, so how old were you? Do you remember?
Like fucking 11 or 12, dude.
My God. Oh, yeah.
Like, why is the bandit not helping fucking Lex's friend?
Why is that weird kid playing a banjo?
Yeah, why would you do that? I don't want to go camping.
That's kind of like
that's ridiculous.
Like seeing like a Requiem for a Dream. Oh, Marlon Wayans is in it. It should be funny.
Yeah, it's a comedy, right?
I loved White Chicks.
It should be funny movie, right?
Yeah, imagine if you watch Netflix and you watch White Chicks and says, because you liked White Chicks, you may like Requiem for a Dream.
Let's recommend Requiem for a Dream. Well, I've seen the movie only once. That movie. That's it.
That's all you need, dog. That's fair.
To be fair, Double D.
Yeah.
I did laugh during Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, Christ on a crutch.
Well, I mean,
there was a lot to laugh at, you know.
Well, what's Shooter McGavin? What's that dude's name? Chris.
That's Christopher.
Fuck.
You know, it's so weird. I was thinking about him earlier today about what his fucking name is, and I don't remember it. I want to say it's Christopher Nelson, but
it's not Nelson. Christopher McDonald.
McDonald. That's it.
Yeah, but his character in that was fucking awesome. Like I thought he was really funny, being the was he like an evangelist or like I don't remember. I remember him being on TV. I don't remember if he was an evangelist or like
be aggressive. He was like a motivational speaker.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That guy's awesome. I love Chris McDonald.
Christopher McDonald is what an actor that guy is. I mean, he must have been Grease too, you know. So.
Oh shit! I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's in Grease too. He plays one of the greasers.
Really?
Goose, right? Yeah, he's Goose, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in Thelma and Louise too.
Yeah.
And he had a great role in SLC Punk.
Oh yeah. He was one of, like the dad, right?
He's like, yeah, son, I didn't sell out. I bought
dad,
in.
Right?
And he's like, yeah.
He was Matthew Lillard's dad, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant picture.
Marion says Tappy.
Huh.
What's that? Tap.
Just a little tapping.
Tap it in.
Tap, tap, tap. It just get in your home.
Let me.
When you're home.
Jacket belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
What was that guy's name? Richard
Creel.
Keel. Richard Keel. Yeah.
I saw him.
Jaws.
I saw him once. I saw Richard Keel once. The guy was fucking massive.
I believe that belongs to Happy Gilmore.
I believe that's Mr. Gilmore's jacket.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Oh, Marion says Tappy Tibbins.
Oh, Tapio.
That must have been his name in Requiem, maybe.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, she's right.
His name was Tappy Tibbins.
Tappy Tibbins, yeah.
Tappy Tibbins, Jerry.
It's such an uplifting movie. We should probably watch it sometime soon.
No.
Let's watch along.
Dude, yeah, Tappy Tibbins. That is his name. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
That's right. I forget.
Ellen Burstyn, Jared Leto, Marlon Wayans, Jennifer Connelly. Yep.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Labyrinth and My So-Called Life. Let's see. This is a good date movie.
Jennifer Connelly had a great role.
Yeah. I like Opportunity Knocks or Career Opportunities, whatever the fucking movie was.
What do we throw in Leaving Las Vegas and fucking A Boys Don't Cry just to round it up for the triple tap?
Yeah. I really enjoyed Don't Drink My Juice While in the Hood or whatever the fuck that movie was. Like fucking.
Oh, that shit was funny. That was a funny movie.
We had the rocket launcher in the truck.
Oh man. Because you like Morbius. Because you enjoy Morbin.
Because
check out Requiem for
films.
Yeah. Shit. What else is? There's probably some other good ones that we could do. Yeah, the Marlon Wayans one's funny because you liked white chicks. Check out Requiem for a Dream.
I didn't get the same vibe when I watched it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, I laughed more at Requiem than I did during White Chicks.
Fucking psycho. How about Black Knight?
That I gotta tell you, man, that is a real guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, no shit.
It really
no
is. Every time it's on, I fucking watch it, and I don't know why I watch it. I don't have an answer. It's like a train wreck. You shouldn't watch it, but you can't stop yourself. You know, it's.
I want to validate how many times it's on in a year. Like, what programmer is like?
They program it just for MZ.
Yeah,
they're like, there's one guy in Maine who will watch this. Let's just put it on the schedule for him.
Is there no secret? That's what I want.
Who is this one fucking guy that keeps watching this on reruns?
We just have one guy every fucking year. I guess we got to keep it going for him. Luis Lasser is also in Requiem. Because you like the movie Bananas from 1971, you should watch Requiem for a Dream.
Well, if you want to see Louise Lasser in a horror film,
oh fuck,
that's true. She was.
Yeah, she's in 2 horror films actually. She's in Blood Rage, and she's also in Frankenhooker.
Oh yeah.
Which part was she?
She played Jeffrey's mom.
Oh,
Jeffrey Franken's mother. But you got to see Blood Rage. It's the only. Yeah, I can't say only. But at the time, it was the only Thanksgiving Day horror film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about Thanksgiving?
Not cranberry sauce.
There's I didn't remember her, but Louise Lasser is also in Mystery Men.
Oh.
She played a character named Violet. I don't remember who that is, but so there you go. It's a little fucking rabbit hole for you.
A I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah, it goes deep when you talk about sitcoms with this fucking crew. Let me catch up on the chat. Some of this was a while ago because we just got off on a tangent there. But Evil Corny says, I bit my tongue when MZ said he realized C. Thomas Howell was white. And he says, hell yeah, we know Dream On. Raven Shadow and I talk about that and First and 10 all the time.
Yeah, boy.
Really?
Yeah. First and 10.
Yeah.
First and 10 was good.
Angry
They
Town.
had okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, at first there's so many people in that. There's fucking the Crypt Keeper's in that as the place kicker.
Oh, shit.
Nerds.
What's
is
his name?
in that.
John
Kazir.
John Kazir, yeah.
Shannon Tweed plays the GM after Delta 747 leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who she's the partner of, Raven Shadow. Shannon Tweed.
and the great Gene Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know.
I have a question. All the place kickers out there. Oh yeah.
This is Paul Stanley.
From Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants some vodka and orange juice?
Star Child.
Maybe some cold gin. Oh yeah.
Maybe we should do that movie for a fucking
We
watch
might
along.
have to.
MZ, would you do that for a watch along? Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know how you feel about Kiss, but I know you like that movie. So
It's the only good thing Kiss ever did.
Marion says that Luis Lasser was Blue Raja's mom, played by the great Hank Azaria, right? He was Blue Raja.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let me continue on with the chat. Angry Townsman says Julie Carmen was on Dream On, main vampire on Fright Night 2, and in The Mouth of Madness.
Yeah, boy.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Actually, I mean, me saying this out loud on the show means I have to be the one to probably plan it. But what would be fun is to do a 6 Degrees on like for a Patreon special and have Patreon folk join in.
Oh.
Could be kind of fun. MZ can defend his title in like a fucking battle royal style
Oh, a tournament.
tournament or a battle royal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll run the gauntlet.
Evil Corny asks, wasn't Fred Willard on Not Necessarily the News too?
No.
I don't
She's
think
probably
so.
thinking of DC Follies.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about too. DC, that was puppets, right? They were like Muppets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They use the same Muppets in Land of Confusion from Genesis.
Yeah. George
Oh,
Slatler or
yeah.
somebody Schladler,
Maybe I don't
Flaggity
know.
Dabbler,
Doobity-doo.
Fliggity Doo Doo. But yeah, Fleischer. Yeah. A lot of Reagan Muppets.
Yeah.
A lot of Reagan Muppets. All right, well, we have 2 movies to talk about tonight, so we should probably
Really?
get to that. What do you think?
All right.
So let's see here. So I want to make sure see if there's anything else. We don't have to do a fucking coffin corner every single week, but it seems like lately we have. But Bob Barker. Anyone have any thoughts about Bob Barker? Price is wrong, bitch.
This is wrong, bitch. No, I love Double B, if you will. I
It's
skipped
not
a
the
lot
same
of
as the
school.
Triple B.
No, it's not. Nope.
Just the triple D's are bigger.
No, Triple
That's
D.
true.
Double D. Double D, double
Yeah.
B.
But no, I skipped a lot of school watching the app Price is Right with my grandfather back in the day.
You know what's funny? That's so funny because I thought that was like an experience that was solely mine.
Really?
But when Bob Barker passed away, Tanya said she's like, oh my God, I used to watch that all the time on days when I'd stay home from school. And I'm like, me too. What the fuck? And now you're saying it.
Everybody did.
Yeah, bro.
So is that
Everybody did. I did.
Is that your brand of cigarettes, Raven Shadow? Yeah, bro. Yeah, bros. Get your Yabro points.
Or does he smoke Yabro lights?
Yabro
Filtered or unfiltered Yabros?
Yabro lights. Oh shit. Oh, someone named Genesis just popped in and said Double D is sexy in the chat room.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Of course.
That's Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, it's Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Oh, Phil Collins. Yeah. Who's
Depends on which era.
fair?
Evil Corny says, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." No,
Oh, yeah.
He says, "Oh yeah, I was watching Entertainment Tonight with my mom last night. They were celebrating Gene Simmons' birthday, and my mom goes into how much she didn't like Gene." There you go. MZ and Corny's mom got something in common.
Nice. I already like.
Corny's mom.
I like.
did invent Entertainment Tonight, just so you know.
I like it.
I didn't even. Entertainment Tonight's still on.
Oh yeah, bro. It never. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
It never left.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Light up a yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, light. How in like 11 plus years have we never made that joke? Because you say it all the time. Yeah, bro. Evil Corny says, "Yeah, I would watch The Price is Right when I would be out of school too." I guess everyone fucking did it. I thought,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on at noontime, right? It was on at noon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? I think I don't know if you guys have the same experience, but if I was homesick or something, a lot of times I would have. I don't know why I associate this with that, but I remember having tomato soup and grilled cheese while watching The fucking Price is Right. Like those things are like synonymous to me.
For me, it'd be I would maybe a grilled cheese, a chicken noodle.
Chicken noodle, yeah.
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 Or maybe the stars, or
The stars.
we used to call it belly button soup.
Belly button soup.
Yeah. I
Okay.
forget what the real name is, but they look kind of like the little noodles look kind of like belly buttons. We called it belly button soup. It was fucking nice. It was the 80s, and it fucking calmed me down.
What calmed you down more, that or Yabro Light?
And since I've been 20 years old, some yeah, bro lights, bro.
Yabro Lights, bro. You got to cut out your Yabro Light points. Set them in for some fucking shorts. For some jorts. It says Yabro on the ass.
Dude, I'm getting the yeah, bro tent, bro.
All right, so
Yeah, bro, iron lung. It's fun.
yeah, rest in peace, Bob Barker. You made it to 99. You couldn't make it to 100 though, because you can't bet $1, right? On Price is Right.
Such a brother. Plinko all day, dude. Plinko.
Yeah.
I like the
So yodel, like whatever.
Yodely.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Yodi, yodi, yo. Yodi, yo.
Yeah.
Fucking Rod Roddy's got a fucking porn star name, bro.
And I like I like the golf one, the one the take two,
Yep.
that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like
Oh
that
man,
golf
I'm gonna.
Hole in one or
one.
two.
Yeah. That one.
Let me look up the best Price is Right games because I actually forget a lot of them.
Plinko has to be at the top of that list.
It is Plinko, Cliffhangers, Punch a Bunch.
Yeah, Punch
Yeah.
a Bunch.
I don't remember that
Punch a
one.
munch.
Punch a Bunch was.
Oh, I
this
do. Yeah.
whole- Yeah, you punch.
Okay.
Yeah, you punch through like this cellophane thing, and
Yeah.
then he
Yeah.
pulls out the paper, and it says what dollar amount you won.
Okay, I forgot the name of it. I as soon as I saw a picture of it, I was like, "Yep." There's the race game. I think that's
Yep.
a new. Is that a new one? Because it shows Drew
No,
Carey.
that's been around.
Okay.
That's been around forever.
The Cluck game,
Golden Road.
Squeeze Play,
Yeah.
10 Chances,
Wow. Haven't heard Golden Road yet.
bonus game, hole in one, like you said, the money game, the dice game. I remember the dice game.
Oh yeah, that was a big fucking
Yeah.
die, right?
Big
yeah.
red. Yeah.
One Away? I don't remember that one.
One-
Golden
Oh,
Road.
One
There you
Away,
go, MZ.
One Away, I know. One Away is you would have to guess the price of whatever you're bidding on, and they give you a price in front of you, but you got to decide whether that each number is higher or lower than what is actually there.
Oh, okay. I do remember that then. Golden Road, MZ. Number
Yes.
13 out of 20. It says, this classic game isn't just one of the oldest in the bunch, it's also one of the hardest. Contestants go through a series of products along the Golden Road, each of which carries a series of bigger and more expensive prizes, leading to what else? A brand new car!
The thing about the Golden Road is that it wasn't just an ordinary car. You would win like a Maserati,
Oh,
a
shit.
Dodge
Oh
Viper.
yeah.
I mean, what you would win was something pretty major. It wasn't some just regular, Toyota hatchback.
Yeah. Here's a Nova.
Yeah, right?
Here's a Kia.
You would win a fucking like Dodge Viper on that show,
Wow.
on that game.
Maybe a Dodge
Was it-
Charger, Raven Shadow.
I've been there, charged that. I'll tell you that much. Wasn't that a
Yeah,
Molly
Trip-
Hatchet song? I'm down that golden road. No.
Maybe it was Kiss. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's it's in the bag. I do remember that one. Rat Race.
Well, that one.
Any number? I don't remember any number.
Eddie number?
Eddie number-
Yes, Eddie numbers.
Eddie-
He's coming over.
Any
number.
A-N-Y.
You would bid on a car, okay? But they would bring out, and this is the time that I remember it when they would, when cars still cost less than $10,000, is that they would wheel out each item, and then they would present to you the price of that item. Then you get to pick which digit would be in the first number of that
Oh,
car.
Okay.
Oh,
Holy
they would
shit.
like they would like take
You
the
guys
fucking-
remember these fucking games too? I am amazed. This is it's actually impressive.
I was tickled.
Yeah. I'll just get through the last three. Three Strikes,
Yes.
the Grand Game, Master Key.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I do remember that
What
one.
was it?
Master Key.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Range Game.
Yes.
That's the one where it picks like a $150 range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it range.
Make a range. That's the top 20 greatest games from Price is Right.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, right on.
All right.
And have your pet spayed or neutered.
Help control the pet
Bring
population.
Diane Parkinson to my house.
So
Yeah, I'll send him to Monstero's house.
yeah. So
You're tired, you're hungry, you're bored.
Creepy Girl is hanging out in the YouTube chat. I just checked over there. It doesn't give a timestamp, so I don't know when this was, but she says MZ is so hot.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, hey, all right.
All right.
Look at him. He's blushing. Look at that.
Look at you. Look at you. Red Rover, send somebody over. Look at you.
When are you going to North Carolina, MZ?
Bro,
Any day now.
Okay.
it should rhyme with tomorrow.
So Corny says grilled cheese, vegetable beef with a buffalo rock for me.
Oh.
What's a Buffalo Rock?
Well, he followed up with the next reply and said BR was ginger ale. So I assume he means Buffalo Rock. Maybe it was a brand down in Alabama.
Oh, like a Rolling Rock?
You wish.
I wish.
Were you drinking Roller Rocks when you were a kid? Staying home from school.
No. I had some vodka and orange juice. I had a couple of Paul Stanleys. Oh yeah.
He come home from school, put his book back down, go into the fridge, and grab himself a roll.
Yeah, it's been a long day. What time's the vodka on?
I could see a fucking like 12-year-old Raven Shadow pulling a Rolling Rock out of the fridge and then got like a bottle opener on the fridge. You like, like
Little church tea,
yeah.
cow. Yeah.
Fucking takes a sip and lights up a fucking Yabro. At 12 years old, smoking Yabro lights and drinking Rolling Rocks.
As he's running up the stairs, hi, Ma.
She's like, knock it off.
How was your test today?
Oh, Corny says my cousin Erin was on The Price is Right a couple years ago. She kept calling Drew Bob. That's what you should do. Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually.
Oh, come on. I love Drew Carey. He's funny.
Yeah, he's all right. I've
No
actually,
Bob Barker. He's funny.
I've never seen him on that show. I mean, I've seen him. Like, I know he does it, but I've never watched a whole episode, so I don't know how he is on the show. But
he's not that good, to be honest.
yeah, that's too bad. Well, he's got a lot to live up to, so.
Yeah.
All right, now moving on after we got past the fucking Price is Right shit. Did you just light up a Yabro light?
I had to get some more Yabros.
All right, so let's get through this quick. So if you guys want to support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. You can head on over to what am I doing first? Oh yeah, Patreon.
TorTRradio.com.
No, Patreon first. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. And there you can go ahead and support for as little as $2 a month. And if you want your own Patreon takeover, like our boy Double D, there's a higher tier for that. You can have your own Patreon takeover. And there's other cool perks, so give it a look and consider supporting. You can start for as little as $2 a month, and I mean, we give you stuff. So we give you a Patreon exclusive episode every month, and there's some live events that we have every now and then on there, which we should start planning soon. I'd like to do like maybe not on Halloween, but around Halloween. But might be nice to do something. So. We'll give it
kind of like maybe like a Rock a Shock weekend. What's historically Rock a Shock weekend, maybe.
Yeah, we'll give it some thought and see what we want to do there. But yeah, so give it a look. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com and consider supporting and helping out the show. I think I gave the update about the show on the show last week about the computer, so I'm not going to give any more updates because it was probably boring as fuck. The tech talk, but everything's working great so far. So no issues. I even was able to increase the RAM. I doubled the RAM, Raven Shadow.
Ooh.
Double the RAM.
So
maybe you like that RAM?
Should be running smoother than ever. So thanks for anyone who helped support the Patreon over the years, because that stuff helps. All right, a couple other ways real quick. You can go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It's going to bring in Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's fucking cheaper than a pack of Yabros.
That's true. And it helps keep the lights on. It helps keep things going. So consider that. And then finally on trickortreatradio.com, you can also go ahead and click on store. It's going to bring you to the digital storefront, and from there you can go ahead and purchase the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio. We got 3 volumes, and they span the first several years of the show, 6 or 7 years. There's the highlights, the midlights, the lowlights, the interviews, the arguments, songs, yeah, like all kinds of shit. So give that a look and consider supporting that way as well. All right, Raven Shadow. So you got 2 movies to watch, but your tag team partners picked them. So you think he's probably got your back. So what do you do to prepare to watch the movies for this Patreon takeover this week?
Well, I mean, even though I know the answer before I seen the pictures, I'm raw and ready and rock steady, baby. And as you know, earlier in the year, I've been working on the bedroom and the hallway, doing some painting and some spackling. But I've now been doing some decorating. And Wolfie, I can't wait till you come up next time so you can see my bedroom, because it's getting sexy, dog.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen your bedroom.
I want to show it to you. I was talking to Marion about it. No, I might send you pictures. I got a new headboard in the mail. I got it's a grays, it's
in
blacks.
The mail?
Yeah.
By the time he's done with it,
On
you're
the
not going to remember.
On the telephone?
What do you mean on the fucking Amazon delivery? No, there's an Amazon delivery. So yeah, so with a new headboard in tow, new decorations on the wall, I'm gonna get Wolfie over the house.
Right.
Give him some what do you call that? What do you call that stuff you smell?
Mamawana?
Chloroform.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not coming
And
over.
then, yeah, you gotta come over.
No.
Yeah. Shh. And then I strapped on.
No,
You
definitely
go
not.
through your week
Yeah.
with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your host, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action.
horror,
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Alex West,
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibers, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a Samoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
I could be
Stitcher,
staying
or
outside a
Stitcher.
woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me. Do you say a
bouquet of dildos?
And we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And it is time to talk about a movie. So, first up, we're going to do the film The Monster Project. And this is a film from 2017. It is rated TV 14, and it is 99 minutes, and it's considered an action comedy fantasy. That seems weird.
What?
Like,
Who labeled that?
I have no idea. Like, horror should absolutely be in there. Like, I don't get that. But all right, that's all well and good. But it is directed by Victor Mathau, and I'm not familiar with director's work. Let me see if there's anything else he's done that I might be familiar with. Let's see. So he's directed 8 things, a couple shorts, miniseries. Let's see here. This was his first feature film, The Monster Project, and then he did a TV miniseries called The Smiling Man. It's a horror show TV miniseries.
Which means it's a variety show.
Oh, you know what? I think it might be based. So it says just the synopsis of it says Shiori accidentally angers the Smiling Man, a demon that has been latched onto her soul since birth, who in turn torments her into discovering the mystery behind the origin of its curse. So it must be related to the movie. So okay, that's interesting. So there's 11 episodes. It's a TV miniseries. I'm not sure where it can be watched, but could be cool to check out.
So it came to mind as like a Drop Dead Fred, but with a demon.
Which
could be kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
We should write that.
Phoebe Cates, right, man? Phoebe Cates. Man.
Yeah. And Rick Mayhall.
Yeah, man.
Well, he's dead, so.
Phoebe Cates is hot. Phoebe Cates is hot, man.
He did.
Yeah. I mean, everything that's said is true.
So yeah, apparently he hasn't done a lot since this, which, I mean, he's done like TV miniseries. He did another one called Scary Nights, another TV miniseries. It says, follow the archivist, a deceptive, cunning demon who collects people's darkest memories as he shares them with you and takes you on multiple journeys where you will relive some of the scariest moments he keeps within his slimy archives.
A dick.
I know, right? So I don't know where these TV miniseries can be watched, but
on TV,
maybe your local network in syndication, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the Monster Project and the film. Let me just get back there. The film stars Toby Hemingway, Justin Bruning, Muriel Zucker, Jamal Quasar, Yvonne Zima. Oh man, that's a good last name, huh?
I thought that too. Yeah.
I think she played the vampire Shayla.
Oh, let's get into that.
I think Ravenstraddle would rather have emphysema.
Why would I want emphysema?
Could be Baron Zemo's wife.
Baron Zima.
Have any of you guys seen The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling?
No, I want it.
I have not.
So
Gladiator.
apparently she, the woman who plays the vampire, Yvonne Zima, she plays a character named the Young Porn Queen in that.
D, watch along.
As we watch now.
Yeah.
We also have Shiori Ideta as Shiori. Imagine that. And Jim Storm as Richard. Jim Storm. That name sounds familiar. He was on Dark Shadows. Okay, I think that's where I was thinking.
Oh, the Burton remake?
No, the original show.
The old one. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. He was in Night of the Dark Shadows. Okay. Most recently, he's been on The Bold and the Beautiful.
There you go.
Yeah, but so is MZ. Anyone can be on that.
Right.
That is true. All right, so the synopsis of this film: a recovering drug addict takes a job with a documentary crew who plans to interview 3 subjects who claim to be real-life monsters. So, D, what prompted you to choose the Monster Project for this Patreon takeover?
Well, ironically enough, both of the movies that I chose today were suggested to me by some friends. I seen the Monster Project earlier, and they know that I'm into. Even though it's not found footage, but the film style is. I like kind of like found footage style. You know what I mean? So they know like that kind of stuff, and they know that they like the horror twist to it and stuff. And I read the premise, and it sounded dope. So I said, yeah, let me check it out. So I had seen it a couple of years back. I dug it. You know, then we just so I said, yeah, I know you guys. It's pretty obscure. Not too many people have seen it and stuff. You know, so I figured it was right up your alley. You know, so ironically enough, the second movie that we're going to talk about today, I hadn't seen that movie until I suggested it to you, actually. Right? I mean, so it was recommended by a friend. So, but I hadn't seen it. You know, so I had seen the Monster Project though. So, but I thought it was right up our alley. Yeah, come on, you got fucking vampires, demons, and a skinwalker, and a fucking house. Come on, yeah, right on. Sounds like a party to me, man. Sounds like a party, you know? So yeah, right on.
We've had those parties.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
I wouldn't have been surprised if. Oh shit! What was her name, Raven Shadow? The woman who appeared as like an apparition at your door at the Maroon Manor.
Oh, Rita.
Rita, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Rita was a fucking skinwalker or something.
I was getting some flashbacks. It might have been. Thank God I came downstairs that night. Thank God I called 508-911, hit the bricks.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shit. All right, so had any of you guys seen this? I hadn't seen it. MZ, had you seen this?
No.
No, okay. Because actually, I think this was, because this looked really familiar to me when Double D recommended it. And I think this was one that we almost did. I think it was like, back in 2017 or 18. I think this one came up as one that we like that looked interesting, but for whatever reason we didn't end up choosing it. So it's kind of cool that that Double D picked it. But yeah, this to me, it's funny. Like since Double D's been on the show for the Patreon takeovers, obviously you love found footage, D. Like that's one of your favorite subgenres, and you brought a bunch of them to us. So I was glad that you I kind of figured you would bring another one. And actually last week when we had to call an audible when natural disasters hit, we did. I was like, you know what? Let's do this other film. It's kind of a found footage, or it seems to have a found footage premise. So I figured we'd do that sort of instead of having you on last week and move it to this week. So I don't know if you've seen Subject, but that might be one that.
I did see it. Yeah.
Cool.
I actually dug it. I didn't see it until you guys mentioned it. I don't like. So I checked it out. Yeah, it was cool.
Cool. Yeah, that seemed like one. I was like, you know what? This seems like one that D would probably like. So let's just check this out.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so let's jump in and start talking about this. So. Monster Project setup is basically like, this dude, Devin, and his buddy Jamal are going around filming. This is mostly driven by Devin. Devin is sort of like the driving force behind this, and he wants to get more views on his YouTube and trying to like show, sensationalizing like monster appearances. Has his buddy Jamal dress up in a costume and shit like that. Right. So just trying to get hits on social media. And so they're trying to sort of up the ante, and by getting seemingly real monsters involved, and they have the vampire Shayla, and they leave a vial of blood out for her. The blood disappears, and then and then she leaves them a videotape, and then we have Shiori, who is seemingly possessed by a demon, and I forget the name of the skinwalker, but we also have a skinwalker who's a cop.
Right.
And so this is sort of like the premise is they go and they rent this house and they have these interviews with these three monsters in the house. It's an old kind of dilapidated, I think it was like a Victorian style house, like boarded up. It looks, he's like, what was he saying? It brings the budget, like the look of the film up by having like a cool looking,
set pieces.
Yeah, exactly. So that was sort of like the gimmick. So let's go ahead and give some. I know MZ, you enjoy found footage films, so this is sort of in that vein. Not necessarily found, I guess. But what was your first impression after watching The Monster Project?
Well, let me see. Well, I thought it was well done in terms of the aesthetic of it all. You know, they use, they don't have much light, and what light they do have is not very good. So they rely mostly on night vision for them to see what's going on. A lot of things that you see in these found footage films is a lot of wandering around, a lot of talking, a lot of nothing, a lot of times, and that gives the chance for suspense to build, or for a character arc or a story arc to take place. Here, I mean, you do get that, but what you also get in this film is not, basically, I would say 95%, 96% of this film is basically just nonstop action. I mean, there's always something happening, and for good reason. I mean, you got maybe 4 or 5 people working on the camera crew, and 3 different quote unquote monsters that are roaming around the place. So you got a lot of different interactions to deal with here, and in different areas of the house and things like that. So so the action keeps itself pretty busy, which I like. I mean, it might not appeal to a lot of other people because of motion sickness or some lame-o excuse like that, but I happen to like that. So it was never boring. That's key. That helps. It doesn't give you much time for suspense to build. So as far as kind of minimal at best. You got really no scares, but there's a lot of action going on. Now, I don't know whether or not that's a good trade-off or not. You do have a lot, like I said, you do have more than one camera operating, so you get to see more than one point of view happening. Although one little thing I wish they didn't do was that I wish they didn't break up the first-person perspective video is concerned with another first-person perspective of something that had nothing to do with it. Yeah. I kind of wish that wasn't involved, but it doesn't happen that often. It doesn't break up the I don't want to say monotony. That's the wrong word. The action that's happening inside the house. So it all takes place kind of like before the shit hits the fan. So it's not that bad, but still, I kind of wish it wasn't there. And that's it.
All right. How about you, Raven Shadow? First impression of the Monster Project?
Yeah, and once again, while I enjoy the genre that is the found footage genre, I don't love it, but I love it when it's done well. And I kind of see this more as like a first-person shooter genre, whereas the POV of the characters, and they gave reasons why they would do that. I didn't love the gang. I didn't love the Scooby Gang from the jump. I don't think I did, but I was really intrigued by the premise, and I think that premise we haven't seen before. And in my mind went to a different version of the premise where I liked the gimmick where they were going to be, maybe we'll interview someone who claims to be a real this or that.
Right.
And part of me was like, okay, maybe 1 out of the 3 is the real, creature.
Right.
Like, which one is it? So my mind kind of went to all those. So I went to a different movie, and as it progressed, it obviously was a movie that wasn't in my mind. But then I started picturing too, what if that was like a MTV thing? Like, let's take 7 monsters, live in a house. And
the real world?
Yeah, the real, like the fucking, the ghoul world or something. Like, put a Frankenstein, put a Dracula, put a fucking, a marmot or whatever, a were-marmot. And then put like that one chick from the Addams Family who's normal, or the Monsters who's normal. And like, they're going to do a business. Right. That'd be fun. Right. But I was into it, and then I liked how they gave the film crew their own drama aside from what was going on with their subjects. So I think they weren't, while I didn't love the characters, I don't think they were one-dimensional. I thought they had a history, they had a connection. One character had his drug use. So I thought that the camera team was maybe not as interesting as the premise, but at least had something going on in their own right.
Yeah.
So for me, for this one, I liked there is definitely some good in this. Like I liked the basic premise, and it's good fodder for a found footage film where they're trying to record these, put these videos up on YouTube of these monster encounters, and it's kind of a fun thing. And then from there they go to try to get some real monsters. That's sort of where they're up in the ante a little bit. And so I think the premise wise, I think it's sound, and I like the locations. I like, I thought the acting was decent. I think my biggest issue was with the effects.
Really?
Some of it looked good, but that demonic looking face effect looked like a Snapchat filter to me. And that it just kind of took me out of it a little bit. I hope that's not like, I hope they didn't put a ton of time into it and like they actually did the makeup, but the way it comes across, especially when you see more than one at a time, like there's a couple scenes where you see several people with that like kind of demonic face, and it just looks like I said, it just looks like a Snapchat filter or something like that. So that was something that kind of like took me out of it a little bit. And MZ was right. Like this is kind of like, it's kind of like nonstop. Like it doesn't relent, and that's certainly not a bad thing. But I feel like it would have been nice to actually have like a little bit of a respite here and there. Granted, I mean, there was some moments where it was a little bit quieter, but it's like it didn't go more than like what seemed like 3 or 4 minutes without like another crazy thing happening. Go ahead, Raven Shadow.
And that's fair. In a movie like this, something that really came to my mind was what the original idea was, what you thought you had a budget for, and what you were able to fully execute, whether it's dollars, whether it's timing, whether it's whatever you had. Maybe what you envisioned might not make it exactly on screen with what you have, what your ingredients are, right? You're given the fucking Iron Chef, here's your ingredients. You get this amount of time, take your chicken, your poultry, your protein, or whatever the fuck, and make your dish. But I thought the effects overall were really good and better than I thought. Is it Industrial Light and Magic? Well, they're better than some of the prequels effects that hold up. But it's not James Cameron. It's not. But this is not a dig, but it was goddamn better than a lot of CW shit, and they're dealing with Main Event, and fucking Warner Brothers owns them.
Right.
Yeah, and, I think it's that's subjective. It's in this one for me. I feel like because we've talked about this before, where sometimes like you can show the monsters too much, or like there's always this sort of like, oh, they didn't show the monster enough. I would like to see more, but they showed it too much, and it revealed some of the
flaws.
Flaws and like kind of like movie magic that if you show it sparingly, that you can kind of like mask a little bit. So I think that was I would have liked to seen them a little less. In a movie like this, it's funny. A lot of people were complaining, not necessarily us, but the movie Outwaters that we did earlier this year, how it was too dark at times and couldn't tell what was going on. I actually would have preferred a little bit more of that in this, just to really highlight. So when you do see the monsters, that it has a bit of a bigger impact, But I mean, the way the movie is set up, though, it's set up so that early on, like relatively early on, like you get to see the monsters, and a lot of this is like survival. Like, more than half of the movie, I think, is just trying to survive what's going on. Or maybe not quite half, but it seems like it was about half. So, I feel like what they did, what they were going for, I feel like they achieved that. But just for my sensibilities, I probably would have preferred a little bit more. I feel like if there's some more moments of respite or some more downtime, so to speak, in between the action, it would have made it feel more impactful. And I feel like you could have hidden some of the flaws of the practical and digital effects a little bit. But otherwise, I mean, it's generally like a pretty creepy movie, and it's almost like, typically in a movie like this, you'll see like the Blair Witch Project. You see like it's just about the witch, right?
Right.
Or maybe you'll see one where it's just about this monster, but they were like, you know what, we're gonna fucking go for it and show 3 monsters, So it's kind of fucking bold to do that, and I feel like it didn't feel like it was overstuffed necessarily, but I feel like there's an opportunity for more drama between the monsters, almost,
That's something I was expecting a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe like, because you get a little vibe of they're playing with their food, right?
Yeah. But then there's some scenes where they're like trying to get through a door, and then you see both monsters trying to get at them, but there's no like, didn't seem like there was any infighting of like, no, I want him. It was just like, yeah, we're just going for him.
That kind of would have, when things really started to escalate, that would have, and not to be a fucking armchair director, but I guess that's what we're doing. Like, would they really feud? And they were very, I mean, like you had a vampire, you have a skinwalker, not a werewolf. I feel that was a specific choice.
Yep.
And the demon was more of like a J-horror demon.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Less
safe. Yeah.
Linda
Safe
Blair.
To say. Yep.
Yeah.
More J-horror. Like these characters would not get along.
Right.
They didn't like Captain Cold, Mirror Master, and fucking, Heatwave, who all hate the Flash. Let's team up. Like they're all monsters. Like I'll bring in like Mothra and Gamora aren't boys, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
So obviously, D, we know that you probably like this movie because you recommended it for this. But is there anything else that you want to add to kind of like maybe, since you've already seen it, if you rewatched it, was there anything that stood out to you or was different about it upon a second watch?
Yeah, it's funny. Like I did like the movie. I didn't love it because I did have some issues with some of the things that you guys mentioned. Ironically enough, what two of the things that both of you mentioned, and even what Rich did too, actually, I thought also what Raven Shadow said, that I thought when I first saw this movie a couple of years ago, that the plot was going to be like that there was going to be one of them was going to be the real monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the other two were like phonies and stuff. You know what I mean? I thought that they were going to go in that direction and stuff. You know what I mean? And like I think what you said, Wolfie, there was that about I generally did like the effects, but then when rewatching it again, like the demon with Shiori, it did look kind of like fucking like funky, like special effects for it and stuff. Like, oh my god, it looks it. And since they focused on it so much that they didn't have like this like you mentioned, like this let's show a bit of the monster. They showed a lot of all the monsters and stuff. You know what I mean? And I think Shiori was like the one that looked the worst, for special effects wise and stuff. You know what I mean? So what the and it's like I said, me being the connoisseur of found footage films. My favorites are Blair Witch and Troll Hunter. I think are my two favorite ones. You know what I mean? So in Blair Witch, you don't see anything in Blair Witch.
Right.
I mean, there's a divisive group there. You don't see anything in Blair Witch. Everything's left up to your imagination. You know what I mean? So but I dug it. I don't think it was too much to have to have the premise of all three monsters there. But I think they did show way too much of them. And I think I think overall I think the movie is like a nice blend of, like, it's not found footage, but like DT said about first person footage. First person footage, like it was a mix also of like a haunted house type thing and a possession film, and like even like a classic monster movie. So it was, but then it becomes like a non-stop sequence of chase scenes, and it has some pretty good jump scares there, and I think it doesn't try to be like sneaky with how the plot develops. I did like what DC said about the characters that they had like their own subplot and stuff. I think most of them acted like, most of the characters in the movie acted like you think they would. You know what I mean? So aside from some minor like annoyances and stuff. You know what I mean? So my issue was more with the third act, which we'll get into a bit later and stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't mind the shaky night vision, chase sequences and stuff, but I think it went on a bit longer than I was hoping for. You know what I mean? So at the, watching the second time, like I still generally liked it, but the little things that that annoy me were like more like, I guess, more obvious this time around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna jump on what Wolfie said about the effects. The effects, I agree with the Snapchat thing, especially when the whole group at the party, the whole group of people just started looking like that at the same time. It's like, oh god, no.
But
that was pretty harsh. Another thing is, I don't know. I mean, you look at Devin and you look at what's the guy's name?
Brian.
Devin.
Jamal.
Brian. Jamal.
Okay.
Jamal. And I mean, they're creating their little monster fiasco on their own to get hits, and then they jump into this whole series of reality where they're asking, like, when they got the monsters with them, quote unquote, that they seem to know what they're asking, but they're not entirely sure that these are the right questions, but they're asking the right questions to these things. So I'm having a hard time trying to take the idea of them making a farcical video just to gain hits, to going into like the professional reality of interviewing real monsters.
Well,
so I had a hard.
Can I ask you a question, MZ?
Yes.
Are you questioning that the film crew took it seriously and were trying to be straight with the questioning? Is that what you thought was weird?
No, I thought that weird. I thought that was fine. I just think the idea of them treating the whole idea at the beginning of the film as being one big joke just to get hits, and then transferring that
right,
that fake attitude towards creating a monster movie that they were just making for themselves and transitioning it to being outright serious people, which they know, the right questions to ask, how to present themselves, the whole deal. It just came across as kind of, I don't know, just a little bit unbelievable for me. I mean, I know you're supposed to, put it all on the shelf and just say, reality, I'll be back with you in an hour and a half. But, there's just so much of that you can accept, Another thing was the technical aspects of it during filming and in post. There's a scene in the car with Jamal and Devin, which they're seeing his ex-girlfriend with her current friend.
Yeah.
If you listen carefully, you can hear Jamal when Jamal's speaking in one area. In one section, you can hear the sound a little different.
Okay.
Because they're recording in the car, so there would be like a slight echo in there. But there's no echo at a certain point in Jamal's monologue. So it's like, well, it's fine, but it just, it's just something that I noticed. It's more of a nitpick really than a complaint. Another thing is, and I'm not saying it's just the Monster Project, it's other films like this too. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. And I'm excluding Blair Witch Project, Cannibal Holocaust, films like that out of this. We live in an area of technology where things should be pretty pristine, and we get these little electronic glitches in the film stock, and not in the film stock, but in the footage. That is just, every now and again is okay, but to have it happening constantly over and over and over and over
that
again,
was irritating.
I mean, and like I said, it's not just this film. A lot of other films like this do this. But man, a point needs to be made where you got to stop with the technical glitches and the static lines and things like that. That's what makes film so great. You don't get that shit in Blair Witch Project. You just don't get it there. You get nice. Granted, it's grainy, but you got no static lines fucking your shit up. Technology should be better than this, but instead we get static lines, freeze frames, pixelations, and it's enough, enough of that.
But I'm not sure it's a like-to-like comparison. Like, I think the Blair Witch footage was done under different circumstances, and then I think we're dealing with more magical machinations than the Blair Witch Project did. And more hyperconnectivity, running around, and more energy expenditure. So I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think it's an exact like-for-like comparison.
No, see, I do. I mean, I try to take into account the idea that maybe it's, maybe it's all this supernatural hoopla that's going on during the film. I take that into account, and it's like, yeah, well, if that was the case, they would just shut down the cameras altogether, right? So.
Oh, and Blair Witch was dealing with film.
But that's my point.
And they're dealing with digital.
That's totally my point. That's what makes film so much better than digital.
And more outside factors can impact film than digital?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if there was some, supernatural menace going on, wouldn't they just shut down the cameras altogether rather than just glitching and freeze framing and pixelating all the time? I don't know. It just doesn't seem to make much sense to me.
And the thing too, I mean, we don't know this for sure, but one thing I was thinking is that it could be that the when we see that sort of like face glitch appear, like maybe that's not something they saw in the viewfinder, but appeared on tape, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
that was the choice. That was the choice
Yeah.
to keep having that shot.
I didn't love that. I think it appeared too often, but I understand that it makes sense when you're dealing with, you know, I don't know if this was. I assume these were digital. I'm trying to remember. Did they say what they were filming on?
No, I
I don't think they.
Because so the dude Brian had the he had like a GoPro on his head,
Yeah.
and then Devin had like a what are they called? Like a like a point and shoot camera with like a lens on it. But I don't know what Jamal was filming a lot of the stuff, and then also Muriel. So I don't know what they were using, but so I'm guessing either way it was probably all digital though, which makes sense that they would have these digital static and glitches and stuff like that you wouldn't see in the viewfinder, but would be recorded, digitally, so you'd see it after the fact. So I mean that makes it a little bit better for me to take, but yeah, I just think it was done too frequently, just did too much. But I do applaud the choice. I liked that they had a skinwalker. That's something. It's a different take, and I mean it kind of fit a little bit of the werewolf sort of lore. But Skinwalker is more, and they talk about it in this, but more of a Native American, thing. And it's funny, one of the shows I watch on History Channel is The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. But, so it was cool to see that they had a Skinwalker in this. And I thought that the actors who played the quote-unquote monsters, I thought were really good.
Oh.
Like, I thought the vampire was, like, that scene where she's being interviewed, I thought was, like, super...
hot.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to say, like... It was super compelling, and, like, she was just kind of, like, in a sense, playing with her food. Like, I liked that whole thing, especially with the blood. I just thought that was a really fun scene.
Oh, how hot was, like... sorry, how hot was he having tattoos that I can't see? Oh, fucking hey, yeah, boy.
Hey, Rachel, I was like, I wish I was asked that.
I don't, but I'm willing to get some.
She was great.
I thought that scene was cool where she, they interviewed her and she just showed up on the door, and then when they get deep into the interview, she's like, she could taste the oxycodone.
Yeah, that was.
Blood and stuff, she's like, "Oh shit, was that a secret?"
Yeah,
and I thought that was like,
that was a great
that part.
I thought that was great. Like, oh shit, that was a secret. I didn't know. that was really cool.
Go ahead, Wolfie.
I was just gonna say, like that was part of it. Like I like that this sort of like the background information between like the filmmakers sort of started seeping into the story a little bit, and that was I thought that was real. That was actually really interesting that they went in that direction, and I just kind of wish there was almost a little bit more of that, where maybe there's some stuff being revealed, like like, and I'm just kind of off the cuff. This just came to mind, but like a lot of times. Humans are the monsters, right? Like humans are the true monsters in stories. And if all of these monsters almost had pointed out like the flaws in humans as being monstrous, like I feel like that almost would have been more interesting. Not to say that they shouldn't show the monsters, they should, but I feel like if they played with them for a little while, because I thought the interviews were probably maybe the most compelling part of this whole movie is those 3 interviews that they conducted. And, even the Skinwalker one, like blurring the guy's face out and having the voice modulation, and having Shuri, talking about like the demon and stuff like that. I thought that might have been the most compelling part of the movie. And I was really into that. And I feel like you could have actually done more with that and sort of intersperse some of the drama between the filmmakers a little bit more into it. And I don't know. I just feel like it would have made it a little bit more impactful and made you a little bit more invested in what was going on, as opposed to, just having like chases, like being chased for like almost half of the movie, which, like maybe they were like, you know what, like our MO for this should be, let's take Blair Witch and like, let's give you the last 5 minutes, like for 45 minutes,
right. Well, that's why I wonder what was the original vision for this. Like, could this have been done over a long weekend where you have the Friday interview, the Saturday interview, and the Sunday interview? You could have added more to it, but maybe they had, this is what we got. We got to hit this point, and that point, and then have, the monsters run amok. Well, let's just shoot these scenes and hit the high spots. But I agree. Like, I think the worst thing about this picture is that I wanted more.
Right.
I more of the idea. Like, even watching it, I'm like, ooh, what about this idea or this version? Like, this was I would love to have been in the writer's room on this.
Well, this is one of the longer found footage films. This runs at like 96 minutes.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky. A lot of them, you'd be lucky if they hit 90. I mean, this is one of the, when I saw the time frame on it, I'm like, holy shit, this is a 96-minute film. Yeah. Jesus. It's got to have something going for it if it's 96 minutes. Yeah, I think the girl who played the vampire was fantastic. She was subtle enough in some areas and threatening enough in other areas. Playful and dangerous. I mean, she was just. I think she nailed it really, really well. Shiori. I know. The sad thing about Shiori is that by this time, actually, I could say by this time, 15 years ago. But when you got a long-haired Japanese girl in a horror film, you know what you're gonna get. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of hair in front of the face and a lot of surprise actions and surprise looks. You're gonna get that, and that's what you got here. So really, there was no scares with her at all. The Skinwalker was interesting. I kind of wish there was more to his backstory. I think we got more than enough of him as the werewolf. I kind of wish we got more out of his interview because I think his backstory could have been really, really cool. But hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah. But I thought the girl who played the vampire was just top notch, fantastic. She was superb.
Oh yeah, the red tattoos, yo.
No doubt.
Raven Shadow, you're gonna get your next tattoo from her.
I might. You know what? What are you gonna do? It's better than emphysema, right?
So, well, let's start to wrap this one up because I want to get to the other flick. But without giving away, I know this is a few years old, but it seems like a movie that maybe not a lot of people had seen, so I don't want to go ahead and spoil too much. But what did you guys think of the end of this without giving anything away? Did you like the direction it went in, or was it, I don't know, did it kind of kill it for you a little bit?
Little confused.
Yeah. It seemed this was actually my major issue with the film. For me, this is what stopped me from loving it was the third act and stuff. And it just seemed to come out of nowhere. It was not that it seemed preposterous, but it just came out of nowhere. Like I wasn't sure what what the purpose of it was. To go in that direction and stuff. You know what I mean? So I wish that it would have been elaborated better. The ending, okay?
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, sure, like in hindsight, you can kind of backtrack and see, okay, well, I can see how this happened and this happened, but there was I don't know, like I feel like you were really into the idea, like the initial idea of why they were doing this, and you can understand that, right? Like they're trying to get views. I mean, we have a podcast, we're trying to get listens, right? Like maybe we should have some fucking real monsters on instead of this fake monsters now. But
by the gates. Yeah.
You already got one, all right?
So, I think in terms of that, it really leads you in one direction. You think like, oh, okay, I can kind of get behind why they're doing this because they're trying to get likes, they're trying to get views. But when you come back around, you start to question the initial idea for that. It's kind of like, all right, well, why even, why even go there? Like, why even, like it makes me question some of the plot details that happened earlier, and that I don't think is a good look for a film,
Right.
That's fair, because I was wondering, like, was it a work?
Right.
But no, it wasn't. But there were other machinations aside from what was going on, which, yeah, I agree. I don't know if it needed it. And once again, maybe it may have been a thing that was left on the cutting room floor.
I don't think so. I mean, this clearly had a direction they were going in,
Yeah, and it was a surprising choice.
Yeah.
It was an odd choice.
Yeah.
It certainly was. Yeah.
And I feel like it sort of like they were showing the monster, and then at the end, it's kind of like, what happened to that whole thing?
Right. Then you put the cover back on the monsters.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean,
like,
I think there's definitely some good to glean from this. Like, I think there's some people who really dig this. If you're looking for just like a monster movie where there's a lot of mayhem, like, you may just love this,
Yeah.
But for me, like, I feel like in trying to break down some of, like, okay, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Looking at stuff like that, it's kind of like, you know what? Like, there's an opportunity here to really do something even better. And, I don't know. And it's easy for us to sit here and say, you know what? Like, I think they could have made a better movie.
Right.
Super easy. I mean, we haven't made a movie. Well, I mean, sorry, MZ has been involved in movies. We've been involved in movies. We haven't made our own, is what I should say.
Yeah. We have had small but important roles, John. I'm just saying.
Yeah, as Snuff Organizer 1 and 2. Is that
Snuff Organizer 1 and 2? That's correct.
And I've made several home movies here and there and stuff too. So
it's true. A lot of POV shots.
Yeah. Oh man, I actually this is a quick little side note. I was actually going to ask Double D about home movies in the Dominican because apparently Big Papi just got hacked or is threatened to get hacked and release some of his stuff.
Certainly did.
Something's up, brother. Right? Like
was
mom was over.
Was that you, Double D? You hack his phone?
I've actually hung out with him several times around here. Stuff,
I figured you have, yeah, especially considering what you do.
I'm glad I didn't hang out with him when he got shot that one time.
Yeah. Thankfully.
All right, Poppy. I'll see you on Tuesday, bro. All right, good.
Double D, where were you the night that Big Papi got shot?
Yeah.
I mean, because he's like a fucking superhero down there, right?
Yeah, man.
So I imagine people want to fuck with him too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then like he hangs out at like all the spots in here, like where all the popular hangout spots and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's a bit foolish on his end there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My profile, but it is what it is, man. I mean, we've always been cool. He's a cool guy and stuff. You know what I mean? So I called him up when he got shot and stuff. So like, you all right? You all right? Like, you all right? Like, no, they said you almost died.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
He's like, I'm fine. Kobayashi Maru forever.
Yeah, you're gonna give him a Kobayashi Maru shirt.
I would have go to the hospital, but they weren't allowing family members there. I'm like, I got the Kobayashi Maru shirt for you. Better make you feel better.
Ortiz is a big Maru mark. That's
Right.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Big Papi, David Ortiz is one of in Boston he's a fucking legend, but in baseball he's a Hall of Famer. So I mean,
right, absolutely.
dude is a legend. So, but that's crazy. I actually didn't know that you knew him like that. So that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Him and Pedro Martinez too, man.
Man, yeah.
Oh wow.
Cool catch. I've been in his house here. To Pedro's house here, man. It's a cool cat, man. Real cool, man.
Boy.
That's amazing. Yeah, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Double D didn't shoot him, and he didn't hack his phone, so it's not
right. He wasn't even there. He wasn't there, asshole.
He's got an alibi.
He was in Toronto.
We was out of town when the shit happened.
He was out of town, man. I was talking to him on Facebook chat.
Oh shit! Rocky's in the chat. He said Double D is back after having my baby. Impressive.
Of all the fucking jizz joints in the world.
you stroll into this one.
Yeah.
He says,
hey, Rocky, I love you too, Rocky. I love you.
Yeah. You got an interesting way of saying I love you. I don't know if this means anything to you, but he says, hope you save the butt Santa.
What the fuck?
The butt Santa? I'm not sure. I kind of never know what Rocky's talking about. And I've known him for 20 years, almost 20 years. All right, so let's do the verdict on this one because I want to get to the next film.
Sure.
So,
another film?
Yeah, we got another one to talk about.
Shit.
You ready for that one, Radio Channel? Did you watch it?
I'm ready for this. Yeah, I watched it.
All right. Well, let's go to the verdict and let's find out what everyone thought about the Monster Project.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I forgot to fucking put Busta back. Damn.
Oh.
All right, no Busta again. I have to fix that. All right. It is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether the Monster Project was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let's start with MZ.
I'm going to give this a tepid treat. There's some things here that they've done right that follows the tropes of a typical found footage film. And some that even go past that point. For instance, the continuous action. I like that. It's never boring. The only caveat for that is that it lacks the suspense that other films, even if they're bad, at least they have that. And some of them do get to me. But there's some areas here where, it could work. That it needs work is what I'm trying to say. The technical aspects, overdoing it on the face filters and the technical glitches. You have to dial that back. The performances were adequate, not overly terrible. Of course, the girl who played the vampire, Yvonne Zima, I thought she was terrific as the vampire.
Lestat.
Whatever her name was. Yeah. So
her name was Shayla.
Shayla. Okay. So I'm gonna give this a tepid treat. It gets more right than it does wrong. But the wrongs are really annoying to me anyway. And also, well, let me give credit to this film for being, as far as I could think of, the first found footage film to use Baphomet. I was not expecting that. And when I saw it, I'm like, God damn, that looks pretty good. That ain't bad. I don't know if that's they made that or what, but it looked pretty good.
That did look pretty good. I'm pretty sure I want to say I've seen Baphomet in found footage, but
I'm trying to think of one. But
didn't we see? What was the name of that one?
Yeah.
It was the last VHS movie, VHS 94, I think it was. There was that one from the people who did Deadstream. It was the final one where they go down to hell. I don't remember if Baphomet was in that, but there was demons. I don't remember if Baphomet was in it though. But that's what comes to mind for me. That maybe it could have been that.
But it was really well done, and so props to them for that.
Yep.
But overall, this is a tepid treat.
Okay, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you want to call it? Found footage, first-person shooter, POV, whatever you want to call it. I was along for the ride on this, and I do think there was an ambitious story that may have been whittled down to various reasons. But overall, I was along for the ride. I like what this crew will do in the future. I thought it was very aggressive and exciting credits at the end, where they were definitely like, yo, we made some dope shit. Blah. They had some aggressive, like, a vulgar display of credits at the end. Like, metal fucking, like, blah. You know what I'm talking about?
I've never heard someone talk about the credits in a movie as like one of the the good things.
There was who said yes.
Right on. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, that's my boy D right there. Very aggressive credit sequence. And you know what? Like, they showed the fucking monster. They showed the fucking monsters. And I respect that. The monsters. What? You gonna judge?
Who, me? Because I shook my head?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna judge. I think all right, fine.
I just shook my head. Monster,
yeah, but that was
monster. You like double down on the monster.
The monster. I was waiting for it. The monsters. It was a scary skinwalker. I like when the fucking skinwalker's pulling the fucking boards down and like, oh shit, there's a full moon. I know what fucking happens.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was excited, and it showed some shit. Some treat. Check it out. What are you gonna do?
Showed some shit, that's for sure.
Forget about it. What are you gonna do?
Forget about me. I'm gonna tag D in right now. Yeah.
All right, D. Why don't you go ahead and give your verdict?
Yes. So for me, I thought that the premise was very unique. You know what I mean? So I was into it. I was into it for the first act. The second act, I thought it had a cool, innovative premise. I thought it was awesome that they had like a casting call for real monsters and stuff. You know what I mean? I like the action sequences and stuff. I thought it did have some jump scares. And I thought overall, like what Rich said, that it did more good things than bad during the movie and stuff. I do agree with Rich. It could have been like a tad bit too long, that movie. I think they could have shortened it down to like a bit there and stuff. You know what I mean? It seemed pretty long for like it's not found footage, but for that type of genre, for argument's sake, you know what I mean? So it seemed pretty long and stuff, and but I dug it. My gripe was more the third act. You know what I mean? So and just like I said, just that weird direction that it took, and besides that, and some shoddy, night cam vision, and and the questionable, special effects. For me, it's if you're into the genre, it's and you're into like a monster film, you'll dig it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a treat.
And for me, I'll make this short and sweet. I'm going to go with a tepid treat. I think, kind of like MZ said, there was some good in this, and I like the direction of it. Like, I like what they tried to do it. And the interview segments were really fun. I thought that those are really well done. I can't fault, like, I always kind of say, like, I like when a movie takes chances. And because I think the biggest sin is to make like a middling movie on purpose and to not take any risks or any chances. They took a chance with this. They tried to do something like I can almost see like sort of like the elevator pitch, like when someone came up with this, like the director or whatever, being like, you know what, like let's take the last like hectic few minutes of most found footage films and let's bring that and extend it into like half the film. And I think it's generally a cool idea. And I think a movie that did it better, and now granted it's a newer movie with better technology and stuff probably and better budget, but Deadstream was fucking awesome. And that had like, I don't know if it had as much like hectic action as this, but it was close. But that one fucking nailed it. Like Deadstream was fucking awesome. So yeah, but this one did come before it. Came years before it. And I will give them credit for some really good creative shots. Like I like the shots of like people falling out of windows and and stuff like that. I thought those looked really good. So I think that there was some really creative shots that they did. And I think generally it's a cool concept. I think just the execution just wasn't quite there, and the twist, it just the ending kind of. I just feel like it made it too convoluted. Like I'm invested in the story that's currently happening, and then when you take that story and kind of turn it on its head a little bit, it makes me question like what I even feel about these characters, if I even cared for them at all. Like, it really kind of I think it did more to confuse how I felt about it than it did to add to it. But once again, I give him credit for giving it a shot and for going for something like that, because I think it's generally a good idea to throw some like monkey wrench in it and make it different and interesting. So definitely credit due. I'll say tepid treat. It had its moments, but ultimately it was a bit of a letdown. But I think that a lot of people will still like this movie. So it's on Tubi. It's on YouTube. Could check it out for free. And, just I think Tubi has less ads, because I watched the other movie on YouTube and there was way too many ads. And I watched this on Tubi and I feel like the ads were a little bit more reasonable. So if you don't have a copy, if you don't want to rent it or whatever, and you want to watch it on one of the free streaming channels, I'd recommend YouTube. So there you go. That is our discussion of the Monster Project. Now, you know what? I'll mention what we're going to do next week now, and then we'll jump into the next film. So next week, it's interesting. We're going to be doing a sequel. Let me see. Okay, just write it down on the list here. So we're going to be doing a sequel to a movie I haven't seen before. So I'm going to probably try to watch the first one this week. But I really wanted to do this movie. It was in theaters just a few weeks ago, but I really wanted to do it because of the director. Big fan of the director, and I am just dying to see what he does with a big budget monster movie. So we're going to be doing Meg 2, The Trench.
Outstanding.
Directed by motherfucking Ben Wheatley. Who I mean, the dude has done mostly like folk horror and like indie films, and he also did Free Fire and High Rise, so I shouldn't forget those. So he does have some bigger films under his budget, but under his belt, I should say. But coming from In the Earth, doing In the Earth last, to this, it's like kind of like a massive shift. So I'm super curious to see what this is like.
Ben Wheatley's getting divorced, dog. That's why he's doing this picture. This is like, you're gonna pay off some shit, dude. My man wants an addition. He wants a new fridge.
You know what? Yeah. Like if you get offered this movie, I mean, you don't really say no, right? Like,
of course not.
Whether. I feel like you just fucking do it, and then you know what, like you raise your status and then you do some bigger stuff after, maybe, it's kind of those
one for them,
yeah,
one for you, one
exactly.
for them. Yeah.
And Robert Rodriguez was famous for that early on. What's funny though is the one for them was the fucking Faculty, and the one for me was supposed to be Madman, and that never fucking came out. So.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Motherfucker made 3 Spy Kids.
I know.
Yeah.
For only 3. I think he made like fucking 10 of them or something.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 10, but he made a few. I thought there was more than 3, but.
Yeah.
So
the one for me should have been a Madman. You're right.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. Yeah, it was supposed to be after the Faculty. I think that's why he did the Faculty, so he could do Madman. The great, the great fucking, was it Dark Horse? No.
Eventually, yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it was on. I think it was on Dark Horse, but from
at
the
least
great,
eventually landed on Dark Horse.
Yeah,
It eventually landed on Dark Horse.
Yeah, from the great Mike Allred, who we had on the show way back on episode 77, I think.
Friend of the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
or something like that. Yeah, that was like the high point of our fucking at that time. Anyways, we were like, holy shit, we got Mike Allred. So there you go. Meg 2, The Trench. We're gonna be doing that next week. It stars Jason Statham, Raven Shadow. How do you say his last name?
Stratham.
There's no R in there.
Well, I'm saying the English version of it.
The English, okay. Whose English is that? It's not the Queen's English. I'll tell you that much.
No, it's fucking who won the war? Okay.
It's a silent R. It's a silent R.
Just saying.
So we're doing
Sorry, Linus.
Meg 2 next week. So give that a look. Yeah. It's right now it's only available on that like premium rental. So it's going to cost you like $20 if you want to rent it. But you can also probably see it in theaters still. So you can.
Yeah, it's a big fucking shark movie.
Right.
Literally a big shark. All right, so we're just going to transition right into the next thing here, Raven Shadow. I know you can smoke at the bar now, so you're all set. But we're going to go to the next film, and we're going to be talking about Down a Dark Hall. This film from 2018 is rated PG-13. It is 96 minutes. It's a drama, fantasy, horror. It is directed by Rodrigo Cortez and written by Michael Goldbach, Chris Sparling, and Lois Duncan. And it's based on a book by Lois Duncan, if I'm not mistaken. And the film stars Anna Sophia Robb, Uma Thurman, Isabel Furman. It's funny. Uma Thurman and Isabeth Furman. Okay. Victoria.
Thurman and Furman.
Thurman and Furman.
Is Mark Furman there too? They got Mark
whoa.
Oh, shit. Also features Taylor Russell, Noah Silver, Rosie Day, Rebecca Front, Pip Torrens. That's a fucking name.
Oh, Nipsey Russell?
No, Pip Torrens.
I wish.
Pip Torrens.
Rip Torn?
Yeah, he was actually, that's right. He was in Star Wars Force Awakens as a character named Colonel Kaplan.
Oh, obviously.
I don't remember that character, but I thought I remembered that name somewhere.
I bet he involved the green screen.
All right, so Down a Dark Hall. The synopsis of this: a troubled teen named Kit Gordy is forced to join the exclusive Blackwood boarding school, just to find herself trapped by dark forces around its mysterious headmistress, Madame Doré, who is played by Uma Thurman. All right, so this one, before we get to Double D and why he chose this one is, as I mentioned, based on a book. And actually, this movie, did you guys happen to see who it was produced by?
No. Who is it?
It was, I forget her, I got to look her up because I forget her name. Let me see here. I'm looking it up. It was produced by Stephanie Meyer from Twilight fame.
Twilight?
Yep.
Twilight? Oh my god.
Oh shit, D knew that.
She was the writer, the author of the books. Stephanie Meyer wrote the Twilight books. And so she produced this because it says at the beginning, like, produced by Stephanie Meyer. It's Stefanie. It's like E-N-I-E. I've never seen anyone spell that.
Oh, what the? That burns my ass.
Stefanie Meyer.
Really?
Does it chap your ass after it burns it?
Yeah, it's so much chafing over here by the bar.
Burning. What comes first? Burning, chaping, or chapping or chafing?
Yeah, Burning, Chapin, Carpenter. What's that band? That singer who wrote "Cats in the Cradle." Yeah, it's fucking
Shadow
stupid.
Stevens, was that it?
Shadow Stevens, yeah. Remember Tracks? Speaking of shows.
With Priscilla Barnes.
Yeah, great Priscilla Barnes.
right.
Tracks with 2 X's.
All right, so let's talk about this. This is by the way, this is available on YouTube with ads. Annoyingly, with ads. If you don't mind an extra 20 minutes of ads and watch on YouTube.
Get your ad blocker ready, bro.
It's also on the Roku channel if you have that, and I imagine that doesn't have ads. But I don't know because I don't have Roku. Did you guys? Either of you guys watch this on Roku?
Yeah, I watched it.
All right.
Don't worry about how I watch. Mind your own business, Wolfie.
All right, and this is based on Down a Dark Hall
True story.
by Lois Duncan. That name, let's see. Oh,
What's
okay.
Duncan?
She died in 2016, so she was born in 1934. I mean, she wasn't a spring chicken when she died. She died on my birthday in 2016 too.
Wait, when she make the movie?
She wrote the book. She didn't make the movie.
Oh, okay. I'm like, she did Beyond the Grave. I'm like, make that movie.
Jesus Christ.
I thought she was a supernatural specter.
So yeah, apparently
Steven Spector.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually know this. Some of her works have been adapted for the screen, the most infamous example being the 1997 film I Know What You Did Last Summer, adapted from her 1973 novel of the same title. I actually didn't know that was based on a novel.
That was a book? Really? I didn't know it was a book. Get the fuck out of here. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I kind of want to read that now.
Wow.
It's too bad you don't know how, though.
No, I can read, Wolfie. I just got bad eyes.
Oh, right. Big difference, yeah.
I want you to read it to me when you come over to my new bedroom.
I can't read if I'm knocked out.
Read me a bedtime story.
So it says an adaptation she was not fond of due to her daughter's murder the prior decade.
Well, she wrote the fucking book, though.
After the publication of what? Go ahead. What?
I'm sorry. I'm fascinated. As you were.
As you were.
Let's see here. So, yeah, after the publication of I Know What You Did Last Summer, Duncan wrote Down a Dark Hall in 1974, a gothic novel following 4 students at an isolated and mysterious boarding school. In 1976, she published the supernatural horror novel Summer of Fear, which was also adapted into a 1978 film by director Wes Craven.
Oh, interesting.
Have you seen that, MZ?
What's it called?
Summer of Fear?
No.
Was I wonder if they changed the name of it. Let me look at Wes Craven's filmography. I'm kind of curious now.
Summer of Fear. Doesn't even sound familiar.
Yeah, so he did it in, I think, 76. I mean, he doesn't have all that many movies directed, so let's see. Oh, yeah, it was called Summer of Fear. It was a TV movie, 1978.
Oh.
That's funny. Yeah, I've never seen it. Synopsis: a teenage girl's life is turned upside down after her cousin moves into her house, and as time goes by, she begins to suspect that she may be a practitioner of witchcraft. It's so funny how times have changed, because nowadays, like, it's like, oh, so she's a cool chick, like,
Right,
you know, like,
I want to hang out with her. Like,
yeah, like
smoke pot. See what happens.
Linda Blair was in it. That's funny. All right, I'm interested in this because I actually didn't know this about Lois Duncan. Like, I didn't know that she wrote so many books that were made into movies later. Let me see if there's any others.
I bet that novel was fucking harsh.
Yeah. In the 80s, Duncan would publish several more horror novels with supernatural themes, including Stranger with My Face, about a teenage girl's experience with astral projection, and The Third Eye, also with psychic themes. In 1985, she wrote another suspense novel, Locked in Time. All right. I know I've heard of her, but I've never read any of her books.
Right.
So, all right. Well, there you go. Lois Duncan. She
There was
wrote.
a show called The Third Eye, I think on PBS.
I wonder if it was related.
It was like The Third Eye. Woo, woo. Like it would have like Doctor Who, like sound effects, like wow.
You sure it wasn't like the music from oh fuck, what was that Leonard Nimoy fucking
Oh,
joint?
Third Eye Blind? No, In Search of?
In Search of, yeah.
No. We were too young for that, Wolfie.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
You,
shit.
me, and D were too young for that, and Corny were too young for that show.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh shit. Mina just popped in the chat. Mina Rose.
Oh shit!
And she said, "Hello, wonderful
Papa
weirdos."
Leo.
What's up, Mina? It's awesome to fucking see you. We got to get Mina back on. What are we doing?
I
What are we
know.
doing with our lives?
Not enough.
All right. Creepy Girl says, what movie? Oh, yeah, I didn't like this one. Angry says, I have to bounce, guys. Got work early tomorrow. Night, everyone. All right,
See ya,
Angry.
bro.
He's already gone, but when you listen back, I hope you had a good day at work, and see you. All right, so let's jump into this movie. And I had actually never heard of this. So, D, what was the sort of idea behind picking this one? I know you said you hadn't seen it before, but
Yeah. So I hadn't seen it. I asked a friend, to recommend to me a movie and stuff, and she knows I like some gothic horror and stuff and things like that, and a la Lovecraft or Poe, or so she's watch this. You know what I mean? So it's about 4 girls in a creepy boarding school. I'm like, all right, cool. So so since I never watched it, I figured it'll be nice to that we all be surprised together.
There you go.
Whether it be good or bad, whether it be good or bad and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
so that was pretty much it. So it was just a friend's recommendation because she knows I like gothic horror. So and that was it, man. Yeah.
all right. Well, I think it's a good enough reason right there. So let's dive in and start talking about it. Let's start with MZ. Oh wait, he's not there.
Let's not start with
What the fuck? Did he even say anything?
I don't think he said anything.
No, he's there in the photo, in the live thing. Oh no, he's not.
No, he's not there. It's just this empty chair. Did he turn invisible?
Could be.
All right, so just
a la Hollow Man. A la Hollow Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he's being all fucking
Remember
creepy.
seeing that live
He's
in
being all
theaters? That
creepy.
sucked.
You remember that, Jeff?
Oh, it sucked.
Oh, Mina says, I know, it's been forever. I was away in Nova Scotia for a bit where gas prices are even more insane.
What?
Wow. Nova Scotia, eh? Is that where all the
Fuck you, Nova Scotia.
wildfires were coming from? Was it Nova Scotia?
Oh, what a bunch of dicks.
Well, it's not their fault. All right, so
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
let's jump into this. I want to be a little bit more brief with this one because
All right.
we're already past 11. I know MZ's gonna fucking turn into a pumpkin.
Oh, shit.
And all
Sure is,
that.
yeah.
So let's try to be concise about this. But I'll just kick it off, I guess, and give my first impression. And I will say that this film looked awesome. It looked beautiful. And so they filmed this, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in France. Let me just look real quick. Spain. I'm sorry, not France. They filmed it in Spain, and I really liked the look of this film, especially the school, like the way that was shot.
Oh, for sure.
Fucking gorgeous, and some of the drone shots above of the forest and everything. Like really loved the look of this film for the most part. I like the concept. Like the overall concept of this is fucking cool. but the execution, oh man, like if someone had told me the premise of this, I would be like, that sounds fucking awesome. And then seeing the execution, I'm like, oh, come on. Like, I feel like they were trying to make like a mystery, and then it became, what's going on. You sort of see what's going on at a certain point, and then they do what seems like a big reveal, and you're like, nah, I kind of already got that. Why did you do that? And then from there, they barely even explore the concept anymore after that. Like, so I feel like this had a lot going for it in terms of premise and and the way, like, just the basic idea. Like, so what you're saying, Raven Shadow, the book is probably fucking awesome because you can really explore a lot about this. And I feel like a lot of this was either left on the cutting room floor because they had to make it like a lean, mean, 93 minutes or whatever it was, 96 minutes. And really, like, this might have benefited from maybe an extra 20 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it was sort of a little slow, and then it started to kind of hit a good pace, and then they kind of like lost me. So I like the premise, I like the way it looks. The execution just wasn't there for me for this one.
I couldn't agree more with what Jesse said right there. I felt the exact same way. You know what I mean? So like I said, I picked this movie because it was I said, yeah, let's watch it again. It sounded like pretty intriguing, and like Jesse said, the cinematography was just fucking phenomenal. It was a gorgeous looking film. Gorgeous looking film. I love the scenery. I love the sets and stuff. The premise is intriguing. And I think it tried too hard to be like, I don't think it knew what it wanted to be. It wanted to be a supernatural, suspense, a drama, a thriller. You know what I mean? But it didn't seem to like weave together like these elements enough to make it into like a really like captivating story and stuff. You know what I mean? So it was the first act just had a lot of promise. The second one was questionable, and then the final and third act just, for me, it just fell flat on its face. You know what I mean? So I think the issue for me was that they didn't, by not layering like the elements of supernatural horror in a consistent method. I mean, it was just, I don't know. It just it didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? So which is sad because I really was like looking forward to it and stuff. You know what I mean? But it's just, oof, it'll be disappointing.
Yeah. How about you, Raven Shadow? Good.
You got some cool elements in this, right? So on one hand, you get like 4 or 5 like badass chicks who are all like their own John Benders of their world.
I'm surprised
right?
you didn't just call them bad girls because you like bad girl movies.
I do like bad girl movies, but they are 17, so they're badass chick movies. No, but like they're all the John Benders of their world, but then meet some X-Men type stuff brought to this. So it's like bad girls meet X-Men, little bit of the Craft thrown in, some kind of along for the ride. And I thought Uma Thurman was great. I thought she looked great. She was great as that evil, potentially
headmistress.
Headmistress, Professor X role. Like when Emma Frost, led the Hellions, represent New Mutants, Thanos. But like, yeah, so I was down with that. And I like that there was a mystery. But yes, I'm saying the gimmick, but the premise was revealed and we knew it as the audience. I think at the same time the main characters did, but we knew more of what was going on.
Yeah. How about you, MZ? First impression of Down a Dark Hall?
Well, first of all, I just want to give props to Uma Thurman because she came off to me like a cross between. I got a really giallo vibe off of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I felt that she was for me. It was almost like Alita Valley meets Veronica Lazar, and to me, that's who she was. It just felt that way. The way she moved, her dialect, the way she spoke, and everything like that. It was just a cross between the two, and her appearance. It just came across as that for me, and so I was really, zoned in on her. Yeah, I got to agree with you guys too. A problem I had with it was like, all right, you got Kit and you got Veronica, and they're all supposed to be badasses, and really there's only one there that's a badass, and that's Veronica. That she, and she's playing that badassery to, a pretty good degree, and she doesn't take any shit from anybody. The rest of the girls just seem like background fodder. Like, they had to fill out the cast, but they didn't know what to do with them.
Yep.
They've I'm sure in the novelization or in the story of this, the book of this film, which I didn't even know it was a book, to be perfectly honest with you, but man, it sure felt like one. From the story, to the names of these characters, it just felt like a book to me. Never did this feel like a movie.
Is that a bad thing? The way you're saying it makes it sound like it's a bad thing.
Well, it's a noticeable thing. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing either, but it's just noticeable.
It's a thing.
It is. But it just felt like the other four girls were just background fodder, just to fill up the roles and, have Kit or Veronica meet up with them in case they need something. They didn't feel important. They didn't really possess any true skill or danger as far as I was concerned. I mean, they learned their skills as they went along, but I didn't sense any danger out of these girls at all, none whatsoever. Veronica, yes. Kit, yes. Even though the blame, the excuse of her badassery is kind of is rather misplaced onto her. But yeah, as the film went on, it just felt like they were playing it a little bit too safe. They didn't know what to do with these girls, really. They didn't know how far they could push the envelope. And I agree. Yeah, that third act, it just fell apart for me. I don't know what they were thinking, but it just didn't at all.
Yeah, it felt like it was gonna hit like a crescendo, like it was coming up to this thing, and then it just, I don't know, like once again, I don't know if it's because some ended up on the cutting room floor or what it was, but for a while it was interesting, and then it got to a point where I knew exactly what they were going, like the direction they were going to go. There's at one point, like right before the reveal, where it sort of became obvious, and then it was kind of like they made like a big reveal of it, and I felt like this movie just held your hand too much. It really sort of didn't give the audience any credit that they could actually, ascertain what was going on here. Now, to be fair, maybe that's fair because the viewing audience these days is typically tied to their phone, and maybe they're not really paying attention. So maybe you have to do something like that. I mean, I'm half being, like sarcastic, but I just feel like it was too much. Like, you don't need to hold the audience's hand. They can sort of tell what's going on, and then like I wanted to explore that some more. The idea of sort of what was going on at the school. Like, I don't, I won't necessarily say, but like, how fucking cool of an idea is that? Like,
yes,
you can do so many things with that. Like, what, like, and the thing I don't understand is what was the relationship with, Madame Dore, like with them. Like, they didn't talk about that relationship. There was also, what was her? Let's see. I'm trying to find the actress's name. I think it was Mrs. Olonsky, like the one who was like the enforcer.
Oh, the heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
like,
muscle.
Yeah.
It's almost like, what the fuck? Like, she was like what? Like Olga in fucking Suspiria or something? Would that be what?
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
there is definitely some DNA of Suspiria in this. I will say.
Oh yeah.
But I got, and it's like, okay, well, where does she get these powers? Or whatever. And then we didn't really get much of her motivation. Like, we see later on, kind of what. Oh, okay, well, that's why she's involved in this. But like, what is that connection? Like, what? Like, I didn't understand what was going on with her character and wanting to see, the person she wanted to see. And then also, I don't know, like, I'm trying to tiptoe around this because the ghosts, let's say, or like whatever, the ghosts in this, like, what did they feel about this? Was this something that they wanted to participate in, or is it something they were being forced to participate in? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was the thing. We never got that like aspect of it. I wanted to find out kind of like what's going on there,
Right. Like,
and I think that's what was maddening to me about the film was just that. It's just that there were so many things that were just like left like unanswered. It seemed like a dark version of like fucking Hogwarts or something. You know what I mean? And shit, there's like all these fucking secrets and and things and like you said, that character of that woman was just like it was just nothing was like said about her, anything. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so it was like it was very maddening to me that there were some missed opportunities there to explore more of the school and anything else that they didn't take advantage of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's some great stuff here.
Yeah.
Like great premises of what the reason for the supernatural machinations and what the powers are that's bequeathed upon the students. They go there, something happens. But the implications I'm more intrigued about.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when there were a couple of like one shots back when like Superman died and a bunch of like time traveling heroes would go to like the time master, be like, yo, we got to fucking fix this. We need to bring this guy back. And they're like, well, we can't because some things are set in stone. And they're like, yeah, we'd love to go back and hear a new John Lennon record, or hear what Jimi Hendrix wants to put out today. But we can't keep bringing everybody back.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's vague.
Yeah.
I
think the thing I would have liked to have seen is like with the ghosts, like a wider selection. Like, I feel like how did they all get to be there? Like, I would have liked to have seen some more like modern characters. Not that I'm the biggest fan, but like, what if we had someone like, I guess I'm kind of giving some stuff away here, but like what if like Kurt Cobain was there, or like whatever, like Eddie Van Halen,
like if it was a hotel and not a school.
Yeah. Like, I think it's such a cool concept of what they're trying to do with it, but it's almost like it's a very certain select group of people who like, like I think most of them died years ago, and I actually don't know all the characters that that were in it, but there were real artists and stuff like that. But like, that's something where I feel like you could almost modernize it, like that's if you make this film based on a book from the 70s, you can modernize it, and I think it'd have more cultural relevance if you had characters that we are tied to, as opposed to we don't know. Some of these characters could have been fictional and made up. I don't think any of them were, but I'm not exactly a big, don't really know all these characters all that well.
My impression were they were fictional characters, but based on like the equivalent of their peers at that time. Like if this was like a Boston Garden setting.
I'm gonna look it up because I thought that I noticed that they were all.
Oh, were they all real? Maybe so.
Real,
maybe I don't get out much. I read a lot of comic books. I like Spider-Man.
Anyone else have something while I look this up?
Richard?
Yeah. Well. No.
No, frankly, I got nothing else.
It really, I mean, well, that's the thing about this film. It's so bizarre. It's like Raven Shadow said. There's something here. There's a premise. There's a good premise here, and perhaps the book is good. It's good enough to make an adaptation out of. But the adaptation, there's just. I just feel like that there were. Whatever their reasons were, they were just reluctant to step over that line. Or maybe it's the book itself. I don't know. I've never read the book. I've never heard of this movie before, never heard of the book before. But it has an interesting concept, and the whole idea is, I mean, it's pretty simple too, 6, troubled girls, who like to cause trouble, I guess you could put it that way, go to this school to better themselves, I guess you could say.
Girls' school, school.
And in that process, they find out that they have abilities that they didn't know they had, or they had once had and locked away emotionally or psychologically. But I don't know. It just feels not sit well with me. I can't really put my finger on it. It's just not good. The actress who played Veronica was good, though. I will say that, because she was just a big pain in the ass, and she was who I expected to see at that school. If they're saying that there's going to be 6 bad girls going to be there, I want them fighting. All it really was an exchange of a few words, and that was pretty much it. Nothing physical. Nope.
You wanted
a cat fight.
Yeah, wanted a women in prison film here.
Well, no, I mean that, but I wasn't expecting a war of words either. I mean, Veronica, the girl Veronica, she talked a good game, but she never really did anything. But I guess that's what being a bully is really all about.
So yeah, I'm looking here. Thomas Cole was a legit painter, 1801 to 1848. So he did die relatively young, I guess. Although back in the 1800s, maybe that wasn't so young, but
right, yeah, you'll be fucking 24 and alone.
Yeah,
you get married.
One thing that's interesting is just reading about the novel, because I think I find stories about the novel a little bit more interesting. But it says one version of the novel that Lois Duncan submitted to the publisher was returned to her for revision because all of the victims in the story were female, while all the spirits the students were channeling were male. The publisher was concerned that feminists would have a problem with this idea, so Duncan changed the spirit of the dead poet from Alan Seeger to Emily Bronte, after which the book was accepted for publication. So it's interesting. So in the 70s, we talked earlier about like feminism wasn't really in full force in the 80s, but it was a kind of a burgeoning concept in the 70s,
Well, yeah, I mean Gloria Steinem. I mean
Yeah.
the whole like Wonder Woman, all new Wonder Woman, when they took her powers away, that backfired on
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
Burn your bra and shit.
Exactly. So that is interesting that they did that. And also it says in 2011, looks like Lois Duncan revised her novels to re-release them to modernize the content. And it says Down a Dark Hall, along with Stranger with My Face and Summer of Fear, was the second group of 10 novels by Duncan to be updated. She introduced cell phones in the revised editions, which presented a challenge because it meant that characters could just call for help. To explain away the cell phone, Duncan writes in the story that the school had no cell phone service. So, and she made some other changes like that. But I think it's interesting that she modernized her own books before she passed. So I'm glad she did it and not some fucking rando, right? Like,
right.
So that's kind of interesting. So I wonder if this film was based on, I mean, it's the same story, it's just revised to make it kind of fresh and modernize it. So probably not much changed. I mean, the girls did have cell phones that they had to hand in at the beginning, when they got to the school.
Yeah, but they addressed that. They addressed that.
Right. They had to they had to give them. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's I mean, it had a lot of promise. That's the thing, is like, I think it's I bet the book is fucking good. Like I would imagine this is a really solid book, and it just didn't translate. The concept of it didn't translate to film. That's, when you do that, I'm not speaking from experience, but when you take a book and turn it into a film, like you have to sort of truncate it to a point where maybe you have to cut some plot points, maybe you have to cut some character interactions and stuff like that. And I'm sure they did that, but I feel like they could have done better. Like I feel like there is a cool film here. It's just not this,
Yeah. No doubt.
All right. Well, you guys have anything else? Because we should probably wrap this up. We got a few voice messages to get to. Anything else?
We need to say. I think we all need to say. So
yeah. All right. Cool. So let me get the verdict queued up here, and we'll do that, and then we'll move on to some voice messages and wrap up. So let's do the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Down a Dark Hall was a trick or a treat. You know what? Since it was the first time he saw it, let's start with Double D.
Yeah, so this movie, like, I despite the cool elements that it had, the gothic feel, the beautiful cinematography and stuff, and the premise, it's just there were too many plot holes for me in this movie for me to give it a treat, even a tepid treat. You know what I mean? So it's just I felt like they ran in circles for the for the plot. I felt like I agree with what you said, Jesse, about them holding the audience hand for too long, throughout the movie and stuff. And I think if there was a more clear and direct vision of where the movie wanted to go, it would have worked a lot better for me. But since it didn't, then for me, this is definitely a trick for me.
All right, MZ.
Yeah, I agree with Double D here. Although I do think Uma Thurman was magnetic. I mean, and that's solely because of the giallo vibe that she gave off. I think the girls were rather middle of the road to basically non-existent. You have four of the girls that just really had nothing to do to propel the story along. The cinematography is gorgeous, and the location is beautiful, and the way that, and it does have a nice gothic feel to it. It's beautiful. I love that look. But as the story continues, it has a great premise, but as the story continues, it just chips away and falls apart, and to the point where not only does it not make any sense, but do you even care? I mean, even if it did make sense. To me, no. I just felt like there was just nothing here for the girls to do. There was nothing here to make the story exciting, interesting, or even the slightest bit scary. It wasn't even that either, or suspense for that matter. Yeah, this is a trick. I would avoid this.
All right, Raven Shadow.
I thought there was some really good elements in this picture. I was really along for the ride. Didn't know where it was going, but when I kind of got the cut of his jib, like I said, I liked the dark Xavier Mansion meets, fill in the blank. Not the craft exactly, but like I liked the bad girl vibe.
Badass.
Very intriguing. Badass. Yeah, badass. Yeah, for real. The book sounds really interesting. I think it's another example of maybe what they wanted to achieve. Maybe they couldn't because of whatever the reason. But overall, there is some good stuff here. I liked the fire sequences. Tepid treat. It's on free fucking platforms. What do you want for nothing? Your money back?
Right.
Your chicks for free?
Yeah, you want your fucking chicks for, well, who doesn't? But end of the day, tepid treat, you could do worse. It's better than the prequels.
No, it's not. No.
Indeed.
No.
Yeah, it is.
I'll take 90 minutes of Jar Jar over this.
Sir, you are drunk.
But I do like Jar Jar, so.
You do like Jar Jar. You want to edit this movie?
No,
all right,
I don't. All right. Yeah, for me, I mean, I pretty much said it, what I thought. I think there's some really cool concepts in this, and it just didn't work as a film. The execution just was not there at all. And yeah, I mean, there are some redeeming qualities to this, but overall, I was just left like, what the fuck? Like, how? I was almost like, how could they fuck it up that much? Like this is a really interesting concept. Like, how could you mess it up that much? I just don't get it. So for me, yeah, I'm just gonna go trick. Believe it or not, it's not terrible. I mean, like I like the way the movie looks, and the concepts are really great. But because it's based on a book, it's almost like, okay, well, I'm not giving the people who made the movie the credit for that because it's based on the book. So their aspect of it, I feel, is a fail because it didn't translate well to film. Even though they had some really good material to work with. The performances I thought were fine. Like I did like Uma in this. This is a role I've never seen her in like this, which I think was interesting and definitely had some Giallo vibes. But I didn't like the, don't go down that hallway. Like it was almost like just tempting them to just go fucking down that hallway. Like that wasn't strong enough. Like I would have preferred almost like in Suspiria, like a hidden area in the house or something, as opposed to just being out there in fucking plain sight.
Don't push the don't button.
Don't. That was a movie in that movie trailer in Grindhouse, right?
Yeah.
Was that the Edgar Wright one? Don't.
And don't push it. I'm gonna fucking push it. Yeah, what the fuck?
Can't hear you, MZ. Muted.
I think that was Eli Roth.
No, he did Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right. Then it must have been Edgar.
Yeah, I think it was Edgar. Yep. All right. Marion says, okay, so because I need to back up Raven Shadow, Elizabeth Webb and William Kessler were real people, but not a poet and a composer, respectively.
Okay. Very good.
Who's the goose now?
I don't know. You tell us.
Christopher McDonald.
I want to read just one thing from the Wikipedia for Down a Dark Hall, and it says Cosette Keyes, I don't know who this is, states in Presenting Lois Duncan, which I don't know if that's a book or a movie, that Down a Dark Hall is about loss of personal identity and possession. Deborah Wilson Overstreet, writing in the Allen Review, says the book explores the importance of taking responsibility for one's own self. See, like, I can see how it would be based on that, like how those themes would be present, but I don't feel that those were presented in the movie. Yeah, like I think that's cool to like this is a loss of personal identity and like that's something that any late teen, almost early 20s would be concerned about, or maybe not necessarily thinking about, but being sort of like presented with that. Like that's a scary thing of losing your identity,
and becoming forced to play a role.
Yeah,
that maybe you don't want. That's almost like your dad's a fucking, a fucking
like a
splunker.
surgeon. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's that whole thing like, oh, like you got to be a doctor, right? Or like it's popular in like a lot of Asian families where they will want their son or daughter to be a doctor or something like that,
Or take over the business,
Right.
take over the fucking warehouse or whatnot. But no, I don't want somebody to be predetermined. So there's some great X-Men metaphors here. There's some great.
Not really. I mean, I think you're reaching a little bit there, just because
it's a fucking school
right.
with hot chicks with powers. Totally,
they don't really have powers.
No,
they don't have powers. They have Austin Powers, maybe.
They have Austin Powers. Do I make you horny, baby?
baby. My mojo.
All right.
Are you Randy?
Let's wrap it up. MZ's getting pissed.
Wolfie Randy Stein.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I know he's getting tired. We got some voice messages. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up. So yeah, little negative to lukewarm on Down a Dark Hall. I'm glad I saw it though, because I think it's an interesting concept, and there's some very cool ideas in there. It's just the execution on the film just wasn't all there. So
bad title.
Well, I mean, it's the title of the book, so I can see naming it that.
It should be Bad Girls Xavier Mansion.
All right, you should write that book, Raven Child. It'll be like a women in prison movie with superpowers in a school.
So Psylocke is very dirty. Chapter 1.
All right. So we got some voice messages.
Kitty Pride phases through.
Did you say Titty Pride?
Kitty Pride. Don't be fucking crass, Wolfie.
Oh, yeah, like it's beyond me to like misunderstand you.
Kitty Pride.
Okay.
Kitty buckets. All right.
Kitty buckets.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's do some voice messages. So
Thank you.
Let's go. You know what? Speaking of, not speaking of, I think we mentioned. I don't think we even mentioned it. I think I'm thinking of the other show last night. But we're gonna journey down under and hear from Tim from Melbourne. We haven't heard from Tim in a while. Let's check in with Tim Chuma.
Bombaleo. It's Tim from Melbourne again. Just about to go to bed after watching Ashoka and some couple of other shows. I've talked to you for a while. Been busy with Myth and end up quitting that site I was running for. It was taking up too much of my time and was never going to get to the end of that sort of work. Mainly the film festival this year, I saw documentaries. Only about 3 movies, including Robot Dreams, and one called How to Blow Up a Pipeline, and the rest were all there's mainly documentaries this year. Included 3 music ones. One called about George Talik, a Papua New Guinea musician. The one about the drummer from Pavement, and they had the guitarist Spiral Stairs there. And another one was about a Australian singer, but it was a school putting on a play about time traveling. Yeah, time traveling. John Farnham. But the school was they don't really call it that now. It's a special school, and we followed a couple of kids through that. But this documentary short I saw was calling Mommy about the Irish content provider. I'd already talked to Rich about that one, and the really good animation shorts this year. I hadn't seen those for a while, and the W2F shorts, which is always all the stuff they can't really fit in anywhere else. So I don't really get to see many shorts during the year or documentaries on the big screen. So that was good. And I saw Moonrise, no, not Moonrise Kingdom, Asteroid City after the film festival.
Yep.
Pretty much, you know if you're going to go see that or not now. It's probably plays to the the people like his films like. All right, thanks.
All right, big update on Myth from Tim from Melbourne. I assume that's Melbourne, the Melbourne International Film Fest, maybe? Myth? What do you think, Raven Shadow? Oh, you think it's MILF?
Yeah, MILF.
Oh, okay. Thanks for correcting me.
Melbourne International
Lovers Fest.
Lady Mamas.
Lady Mamas.
That's Mill.
Milm. Milm.
Milm.
Raven Shadow loves Milms.
I love a good Milm Fest.
Milm Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah, can we get that in the States, please?
Moms I'd love to watch movies with.
Yeah, moms I'd love to film. That's weird. That's fucking a weird thing. Don't do that. That's a weird carpool.
All right, let's go to the next one, and let's hear from Evil Corny.
Hey guys, I didn't watch the movies this week, so I can't
Thank you.
call a trick or treat on anything. But I was pretty much just calling to say what's up to Double D. I had fun with you on the show this week. Later.
Excellent.
Well, okay, bye, Corny.
What, you Maddie didn't say anything to you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're honest. Hey, I'm not your doctor, so you don't have to lie to me. Shit. All right, let's go. Let's see here. All right, let's go and hear from. Wait, did it load up? No, it didn't load up. Hold on. Still loading.
Keep loading. What?
All right, there we go. Okay, so we are now going to hear from FTM. First time Mike.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is First Time Mike. How's everybody doing? I see it's a Patreon show tonight, and Double D is the one that on here. So hello, Double D. Hope all is well with you too, my dude. And I did not get a chance to watch Down a Dark Hall, and sorry about that. I'm gonna try to catch up on that one. It sounds very interesting, but I have seen the Monster Project before.
Okay.
When it was on Amazon Prime, I think it's out a year or two ago because it looked interesting. I was on an interesting found footage kick, and this one I summoned onto because I like the concept of it. Hey, we're coming up with fake monster stuff. Let's talk to people that really claim their monsters on Craigslist, and
Good old
have three
Craigslist.
of them in our house. What could possibly go wrong? Well, if you watch this movie, you know a lot of shit can go wrong with this idea. But I did enjoy the concept because they went with some different ideas. I did with the demon, the skinwalker, and the vampire. I liked how they portrayed the monsters and how they brought some of the mythology into it. I do like the fact that this is a found footage movie that did not make me want to fast forward through scenes on it. There was some of the character buildup, but that the middle part is very solid, and it kept my interest through the whole thing. The twist was, but it didn't change my enjoyment of the movie. I did like the monster characters somewhat. I found them more interesting than the human characters, and but sometimes in these type of movies, that's a given. but I give the Monster Project a treat. It's probably one of the better found footage films that I've watched in a while. It kept my interest, and I do like the concept. I think this is an idea that I wouldn't have minded seeing like a TV series for maybe like young filmmakers. They have them do like this is the Monster Project. These are videos we found of actual monsters, and you could have had a whole setup with this as like a TV series, which actually might have worked a little bit in during the COVID days. But I think if I remember correctly, they did do a web series based off of the Shirori, the Asian lady that was demon possessed, but I would have to double check that. But I think they did have a little web movie series about her. But all in all, I did enjoy the Monster Project. Before I go, I just want to give a bow of the head to the passing of Bob Barker, who, I mean, if you were a kid in the 80s and 90s, if you were home from school or it was raining outside, outside during the summer and you didn't have your own TV, you probably watched some Price is Right. And,
so funny.
Your the Barker Beauties were hot, and but Bob Barker was always there with the travel showcase and just all the games, and fond memories of him, and rest in peace, Bob Barker. Man, it just seems like the past month or so, just another spate of childhood heroes and people that we grew up with just passing away. I know they're getting older, but you never think they're going to go until they go. So, rest in peace, Bob Barker, like I said. Well, I'm going to go. Everybody enjoy Labor Day. Be safe, whatever you do.
Oh, he got cut off there.
Oh, shit.
Well, thank you for some.
Back to the entire message, Wolfie.
Yeah. I was talking about having safe Labor Day. Always good to hear from you. First time, Mike. Hope you're feeling better, my dude. And yeah, he was right. He was right on about that series. I read about the series while we were talking about the director for Monster Project. So yeah, it's out there. I don't know where you can view it. Maybe it's on YouTube.
They were web series, Jesse.
Okay.
I heard about it. Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if they're still on there and stuff, but they were web series. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably just look them up on YouTube. That'd be cool. Because I think he's right. Like, I think if that's a series, I think that might be even cooler, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Interviewing different monsters, something like that. So
there's great stuff there, and FTM is such a good brother.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome.
Yep.
All right, one more voice message, MZ. This one, I don't know if it loaded up correctly. It says it's 0 minutes and 0 seconds. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Sometimes it doesn't list the time correctly, but let's hear from a voice we all know. That's it.
That was it?
That's why it's 0 seconds. What the fuck?
Huh.
That was Rocky?
Wait, let me try something. Let me look at the original file. It's super short. It's like 123 KB. Let me play it in another player and see if it's any different.
Man, somebody messaged me and told me there was double D's on Trick or Treat Radio tonight. But you are not the 4 big boobs I was hoping to see.
Yeah.
Man, what a fucking jip. Disappointed!
That was weird that it played differently in the fucking player, so I'm glad I tried that.
I thought it was like...
Let's try it again on there. Was you vomiting?
That's a great impression of my Friday mornings after recording Trick or Treat Radio.
Let's try it again. What the fuck? It's so weird.
Well said.
That's how it plays in my fucking media player that I use for the show. But
we need that clip.
And now,
what do you think, Rock?
We're going to do the movie review of Black Knight right now. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, MZ.
MZ, you're right.
Let's talk about Black Knight.
No, it's not.
All right. So, well, that's
Rocky, what's your review of fucking Black Knight?
Let me just check on all the chats, and then we'll close things out here. Denny, our good brother Denny,
shit.
he this is 28 minutes ago. He said, just got power up, was in a hurricane. Pissed me off missing most of the show. Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
Sorry to hear that, Denny. Does Denny live down in...
He moved.
Oh, okay. Is he in FL?
He's
in
down
Florida?
south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I hope everything's all right, Denny. I know a big one just hit Florida and probably kind of going up the coast a little bit, so...
Sorry, brother.
All this fucking storms and shit, like trying to fuck over Double D and now Denny. What the fuck, man?
Like, this is what Krypton feels like, right?
Yeah. This is what
Like,
happened.
I feel like fucking Jor-El right now. Like, motherfuckers, like, stop your shit.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's wrap it up because MZ's gonna go to bed. He's gonna turn to a pump. He's gonna turn to a blumpkin. All right, so before we say goodbye, Double D, as always, my brother, it's great to talk to you, great to hang out with you, and I'm appreciative of the movies that you bring to us, and we got. I think there definitely was some good to be had in this, in both movies. There's one that was a little bit more disappointing than the other one, but I'm glad that I saw Monster Project, and I'm glad that I saw Down a Dark Hallway as well. So. But it's always a pleasure, and Double D, we appreciate not only your friendship but your support over the years, in helping the show staying afloat. So we thank you, man, and it's always awesome to hang out.
I love you guys, and obviously this show and Fortune Sensitive are the ones that keep me sane throughout my morning traffic. So so it's right on.
Whatever you do, don't tell Big Papi about these shows because he probably wouldn't like them. Unless he wants to come on and be a guest, then that's different.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I'd want that.
I want that.
I don't want it for him. I want it for us, not for him.
Yeah, no, but we love Papi.
I want Keenan playing Big Papi from like Saturday Night Live. Have you seen his impression before? It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's say our goodbyes, and you guys can say your thing to Double D. Let's start with MZ.
Thank you, Double D. Good seeing you again, dude. Been a lot of years, a long, long time, and you're looking great, my friend. And good talking with you. And let's hope we do this again soon.
Likewise, my friend. Love you,
All
DC.
right, man.
Love you, DC, Daddy.
Love you back, bro. Love you back, bro. And arrivederci, you goddamn douchebags.
You know what's funny? Actually, MZ brought something up I want to just call out real quick. Like, a lot of people say MZ still doesn't look his age. Like, D, man, you don't look your age either. Like, you essentially look the same as when I last saw you in person, which was a very
It's the Mama Juana, baby. It's the Mama Juana. Keeps me active.
The elixir of life.
Yeah.
The elixir of youth.
It's the fucking fountain of youth in that shit. Yeah. All right, ready to show?
Do you know how we do, baby? Maru for life, baby.
Always. Love you, my friend. Love you, my
fucking tag team partner for real. And once again, thank you, my brother. Let's talk soon offline.
Yeah.
And I love your support. You know that, man. Fucking the fuck at this point in time. So for this time and for next time, fuck safe and sane, be dumb and dangerous. We'll see you next week.
Awesome. Love you, buddy. All right.
All right, D. You, I know. Is there anything you want to shout out or promote? It doesn't even have to be anything you're involved with, or is there just something you've been digging or something you want to shout out before we sign off here?
I always encourage people to check out the indie horror films there. I always try to check them out as much as hence why I see these movies like the Monster Project and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, check them out, man. There are good films there that you may not even know about, man. They don't have to be big theatrical releases, man. So support your indie filmmakers, man. That's what I say, man. I know a bunch here in DR, so I try to support them as well too. You know what I mean? So it's that's what I encourage you guys. Support your indie filmmakers. Well.
That was like a modern day Bob Barker right there. I love it. It ties it all up very nicely. You know, like instead of getting your pets spayed and neutered, support indie films.
Right,
He's just spinning this skinny microphone.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. So, all right, big shout out, big thanks to Double D. It's always awesome to hang out with him, and we appreciate the support. And let me actually, there's something I wanted to read in the chat room as we're winding down here. Mina, she said, "Ha ha, mothers I'd like to film fucking dying over here." Just like filming them doing housework or work or driving, whatever. And she said it should be a special episode of Trick or Treat Radio featuring all your moms at home talking smack about all of you.
Oh shit.
Oh man, I'm sure they would all talk smack about us if given the chance. So all right, well, that's going to do it. So next week, as I mentioned, we'll be doing Meg 2, The Trench. Should be an interesting one. So if you guys want to send your thoughts, send them to podcast at Trick or Treat Radio. That's going to do it. We'll see you guys next week.